A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
You? Is anybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends the Goldbergs are here. Brought to you by Does, the new kind of soap for everything in your wash. First, let's drop in on the Dozen family. Well, there's Dickie Dozen out in the kitchen talking to his sister Daisy.
Gee whiz, Daisy, why have I got to apologize to old Miss Hatchet?
Because, Marty, Ma says you gotta.
Oh, keep still. Old Miss Hatchet didn't know what Does is.
Oh, she knew Does is a new kind of soap.
Not till I told her. I said, Does everything in our wash. But she said, what's a little boy like you know about soap?
That when you fast her back?
Heck, no. I just told her I'd watched Ma does my overalls and Pa's work shirts and towels and your pink rayon lingerie and everything.
Oh, Ma wouldn't make you apologize for that, Dickie. Ma says Does gets Pa's work shirts clean easy, without any hard scrubbing or fussing with the bar soap. Why, Does gets dirt out all by itself. She must have said something bad.
Oh, I told Miss Hatchet it's no fun smudging up the towels now because Does gets them so doggone white.
That's right. Ma says no soap gets her towels and sheets more dazzling white. But come on now, why is Ma making you apologize?
I tell you, I don't know. It couldn't be what I said about Does being so swell for colors. I only said Ma's rayon dresses she washes stay pretty longer with Does. Yet it's a regular Tarzan for the tough dirt. That's all I said, honest.
Cross your heart?
Well, I did say, if you weren't such an old dope, Miss Hatchet, you'd see Does everything.
Oh, well, I guess Miss Hatchet will get that apology. But cross my heart, all I want to say is, compared to other leading granulated wash day soaps, Does gives longer life to colors, plus unsurpassed whiteness and real cleaning power for the grimiest clothes. Try Does, D-U-Z. It does everything in the wash. And now the Goldbergs. Well, it seems that all Molly Goldberg has to do is touch a little lever to reveal that Anne Franklin is a liar. Now, this is important because it's Anne who is evidently high-pressuring David's daughter into a divorce. Molly feels if she can remove Anne's influence from Florence, there is still a chance to reunite Florence and her husband. So, Molly is out to push that lever, and we can watch her do it. Listen.
I'm taking it. I hear it. I got it. I'm answering. Hello? Yes. Yes, David. Yeah. So?
Who is this?
It's nonsense. Jake is asking to who am I? Yeah, but tell me quickly. You called Eugene's office, yeah? So what did the girl say? That's what. Yeah, that I know. She wouldn't give you Eugene's whereabouts there. Uh-huh. I told you. Didn't I told you? Yeah. And did she say again Anne knows where Eugene is? Mm-hmm. Of course. All right, David, please don't get hysterical. Only don't get hysterical and be smarter than smart. Please, David, remember what I told you. We have to be smart, and we have to remember that we have to be very nice to Anne. I'm going to think. I don't know yet. But Eugene's address and where he is, I'm going to try my best. I'll find out. I'm going to try my best. Anne knows where Eugene is. And now it's not only so important to know where he is, as that Anne don't want us to know. That's the important, that's the essential. David, don't get hysterical. All right, darling. Don't worry. All right, David. Bye.
Who is it?
It's non-essential, Jake. Non-essential. David called.
What did he want?
If I need something, if I want something, if the children... Florence, Anne, poor Madeline. Come down, come by Aunt Molly inside. Come. Why is everybody sitting in the cold parlor when we can be in the hot kitchen? Come, darling. I'll fix tea. I'll make cocoa. And where are you? Come, everybody.
Molly.
Yes?
What is that inward excitement I observe?
Ingrid who?
I'm talking about you.
Me?
You.
I feel wonderful.
Molly. Molly.
Grandpa go? But where did Grandpa go? Grandpa went for a stroll in the village. He just called me. He's passing the grocery store if I want something which is what. He likes to stroll in the village. He likes to talk to the blacksmith.
Blacksmith?
Surely. The blacksmith used to have a garage, and now with so many horses in the neighborhood, he opened up his grandfather's blacksmith place. I'll take you to Marty. Yes, Paul? Yes, Marilyn? Huh?
You got a spreading chestnut tree, too?
I think so. Where's Anne?
She's upstairs. She'll be down in a minute, I guess.
Anne, coffee, tea, milk, cocoa, rich, what?
Anything that you make.
Oh, cold milk, cocoa.
Uh-huh.
What, uh-huh?
Yes, I'll take some milk.
Oh, very well.
Cocoa for me.
And cocoa for you. Marilyn, Paul, did you write to your father? I mean, a little note would be so nice to write to your father, huh?
I haven't got a pencil. You don't write letters in pencil? I haven't got a pen.
Molly.
So why don't you ask Aunt Molly? Come here, darling. I got paper, beautiful paper, and I got a pencil, and I got a pen. Jake, where's your fountain? Give it to Marilyn.
Here, be careful.
Be careful.
Okay.
Here, right. And be very careful. Don't break.
What will you write?
Huh?
Don't say we. I know what to write.
Well, what is to write? So you write to your papa. So you write, dear, Daddy, dear, then we will see you again.
Molly.
I know what to write.
So write down and write him how you like the school.
How do you spell lonesome?
Lonesome.
L.
Lonesome, you spell L-O-L-O. Marilyn, darling, you don't know how to spell lonesome.
Of course I do.
So let me see if you do.
She's a worse speller than I am. Well, if you can spell it, why don't you do it?
So sharp, please. You don't have to write lonesome. You can write dear, Daddy, dear Father, I miss you, M-I-S-S, and you is Y-O-U. Say lonesome, you said Y-O-U. Florence?
You're writing the father. Is it all right? Is it, Ma? Is it?
Yes, darling. I think that would be nice.
We don't have to show our letters to Anne, do we? What letters?
The children are writing to Eugene, Anne.
But where will they mail it? To what address?
Mail it to the office, and when he gets back...
Oh, it will be so much nicer to send it to where he is.
But nobody knows where he is.
I know, Jake. I'm just saying.
I can't think if you all talk. You can listen to the radio, though, when you're doing your homework. I do,
Oh, stop it, children. Look, come on upstairs. You write your letter upstairs.
Anne, I think maybe I'll call Eugene's office just in case. Maybe Eugene calls. Maybe they know where he is now, maybe.
I don't think you should do that. If he wanted...
But I'll just see.
Mrs. Goldberg.
And what harm can it be?
I think you'd better
I'll
wait.
just try.
Mrs. Goldberg,
hello. I want Chelsea 69970.
Let me have it. I'll talk to you.
Yes, please.
I'll speak to the girl in the office.
It's all right, Anne. I don't mind.
Goldberg, you're just trying to...
Not at
Molly.
all. Hello.
Mrs. Goldberg,
Quiet, please. Quiet. I'm talking quiet, Florence. Just a minute. Hello. I'm speaking for Mr. Cronin's children.
Molly.
Just a minute, Florence. I can't hear. I'm on the phone. Just Mr. Cronin's children, and they're writing a letter to their father.
Why don't you let...
Where can we send the letters?
Mrs. Goldberg.
Yes, just a minute, please. I
All right,
can't.
Molly,
Just a minute,
please.
please, Florence. Just a minute. The children. Yes. Just where can we send it? Because the children are writing to their father. Sit down, Anne. I'll spin you in a minute. Yes. Oh. Thank you very much. Funny. You said that you're the only one that knows where Mr. Cronin is, eh?
Anne. Anne, why didn't you tell me if you knew? You said you didn't know where Eugene was. Did you want me to tell you he didn't want you to know where he was? He didn't want to hear any more conditions and offers and compromises? Did you want me to tell you that he said he was sick of them? Do you think I'll find any pleasure in telling you what Eugene said?
Anne.
Is that what you wanted me to tell you? Is that what Mrs. Goldberg wanted me to tell you? I don't understand at all the position Mrs. Goldberg's trying to put me in. I'm doing what I can for you, Florence. If you don't want me to, I'll leave. I'll leave right now.
And didn't Eugene say...
He said more. But we don't have to repeat it. Unless Mrs. Goldberg is curious to hear. All I know is that it was easier for me to say I didn't know than to tell you what I'd been forced to reveal. I asked you to let the children send their letters to the office. I'd have seen to it that they were forwarded. But Mrs. Goldberg wanted the truth. Well, you have it now. Is it any better than my little lie? Is it?
Well, Molly played her little psychological trick. And as a result, she can have the address now. But Molly may have to pay for this by forfeiting her plan to reunite husband and wife. You know, a listener writes that from beginning to end, she wouldn't miss a word of this program. And that reminds me of something Pa Dusm said. He told me...
I believe in seeing a job through to the finish. And Ma says that's exactly what those Does suds do for dishes.
That's right, Pa. Besides doing everything in the wash, Does has everything for dishes, too. You see, this new kind of soap makes suds that stand up till the last dish is done. Cuts grease like 60, yet it's kinder to hands than any other leading granulated wash day soap. Honestly, Does suds stand up through every greasy pan. No need to keep adding soap. And it's amazing how Does cuts grease without hard scouring. Yet Does leaves hands feeling beautifully soft and smooth. That's Does with everything for dishes. And remember, soap contains vital war materials, so if your dealer's out of Does one day, try him the next. His supply is on its way. Meantime, don't waste Does. See that every bit of Does you use does more. Be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs, written for you by Gertrude Berg. At last, Molly determines that if there is a key, that key is Anne. And therefore, Anne must be found out for what she is and for what she wants before Florence will have the chance to be herself. This is Clayton Collier speaking and reminding you to do as the Dusms do. Let Does, the new kind of soap, do everything in your wash.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, the discovery of Morneal Matheway by William Tent.
Everyone is astonished at the change in Morneal Matheway since he was discovered. Everyone, that is, but me. They remember him as an unbathed and untalented Greenwich Village painter who began almost every second sentence with I and ended every third one with me. You see, I understand the change in him, because I was there the day he was discovered. We were talking about his discovery that day. I was sitting carefully balanced on the one wooden chair in his cold little Bleecker Street studio because I was too sophisticated to sit in the easy chair.
Come on, Dave. Take a comfortable seat.
Oh, no, Morneal. Oh, no. I know about that chair.
Now, what do you mean? It's the only comfortable chair in the room.
Yeah, I know. Look at it. Broken down springs, very high in the front and low in the back.
Sure, it conforms with the position of the spine.
Yeah, sure. And when you sit in it, things begin sliding out of your pockets. Loose change, keys, wallets, anything. What do you do, Morneal? Pay the rent on your studio with that easy chair?
Well, as a matter of fact, it is rather profitable.
Yeah. And that's why I'll sit on the wooden chair, if you don't mind.
Oh, now, don't be bourgeois.
Well, I notice you always sit on the bed.
That's because I'm a good host.
I see. Well, how's the painting going?
Oh, great, fabulous.
You sell any paintings?
No. You know, Dave, I can't wait for the day when some dealer, some critic with an ounce of brains sees my work. I can't miss, Dave. I know I can't miss. I'm just too good. Sometimes I get frightened at how good I am. Why, it's almost too much talent for one man.
Well, there's always...
Not that it's too much talent for me. I'm big enough to carry it, fortunately. I'm large enough of soul.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Now, if you don't mind...
You know what I was thinking about this morning?
No, but to tell you the truth,
I was thinking about Picasso, Dave. Picasso and Rouault. I'd just gone for a walk through the pushcart area to have my breakfast. You know, the old hand's quicker than the eye.
Yes, I know. I've seen you do it. You're the only man I know who can ask directions to Houston Street and fill his pockets full of bananas at the same time.
Oh, well, society owes the artist something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I started to think about the art of modern painting. I think about that a lot, Dave. It troubles me.
You do, huh? Well,
I was thinking, who is really doing important work in painting today? Who is really an unquestionable great? I could think of only 3 names. Picasso, Rouault, and me.
Well, naturally.
Just 3 names, no more. Oh, it made me feel very lonely, Dave.
Yes, well, I can see that. But
and then I asked myself, why is this so? Has absolute genius always been so rare? Why has my impending discovery been delayed so long? Oh, I've thought about it for a long time, Dave. I've thought about it humbly, carefully, because it's an important question, and this is the answer I came up with.
Don't bother waiting for the answer that Morneal came up with. It turned out to be a theory of aesthetics I'd heard at least a dozen times before from a dozen other painters in the village. Morneal was a bad painter, there was no question about it. I say that not only from my opinion. I've roomed with 2 modern painters, and I've been married for a year to another, but... Well, for example, a friend of mine, a fine critic of modern art, took a look at one of Morneal's paintings, which he hung over my fireplace in spite of my protests, and just kind of stared slack-jawed.
What does he call that technique?
Well, he says it's smudge on smudge.
Well, I can believe it. Smudge on smudge, white on white, non-objectivism, neo-abstractionism, call it what you like. There's nothing there, nothing. Well, it doesn't even have the interest of those paintings that chimpanzee did a couple of years ago. He's just another of those loudmouth, frowsy, frustrated dilettantes that infest the village. Why do you waste your time with him?
Well, for one thing, he lives right around the corner, and he's kind of colorful in his own sick way. And he does have one great talent.
It's not in painting.
No. Now, you see, I just get by as far as living expenses are concerned. Things like good paper to write on, good books for my library. I can't touch them. And sometimes the yearning gets too great. You know, a newly published collection by Wallace Stevens. Well, if I find one I want, I just go over to Morneal's and tell him about it.
He doesn't lend you money.
Oh, no. Now, you see, we go out to the bookstore and we come in separately. And then I start a conversation with the proprietor about some very expensive out-of-print item I'm thinking of ordering, and Morneal just says, "Don't mind me, I'm browsing." Well, that's the high sign. I'm browsing.
Well, what happens?
Well, while I'm keeping the proprietor talking, Morneal snaffles the Stevens.
Isn't that just a little bit,
Oh, well, I intend to pay for them, of course, just as soon as I'm a little ahead.
Well, why does he do this for you?
Oh, well, I pay off. I go through the same routine at an art supply store so Morneal can get canvas and paint and brushes. Of course, I really have to pay for Morneal's browsing. I have to suffer through listening to him, and then my conscience bothers me.
Oh, it does.
Yes, you see, I intend to pay for my things, but I know he doesn't. And that's why my conscience bothers me. Well, here he was the day he was discovered, sitting in his room, and Morneal was running on about his own genius.
No, I can't be as unique as I feel. Other people must be born with the potential of such great talent, but it's destroyed in them before they can reach artistic maturity. Why? How? Well, let's examine the role that society plays in all of this.
What's that? You got a hi-fi set?
Nonsense. That's a crass materialistic concept that I should...
Something is happening. Hey, when did you put the purple lights in?
Purple? Oh, what's that?
Look, it's shimmering. It's coming right through the wall. It looks like a box.
We can't both be having an artistic vision. You're not the type.
No, I'm not, and I'm not drunk either. Look out, something's going to happen.
Morneal Matheway?
Who are you? Where'd you come from?
You are Morneal Matheway?
Yes.
My name is Glescu. I bring you greetings from 2487 A.D.
Oh, 2487?
A.D.?
I realize this is a difficult phenomenon for you to grasp entirely, but here I am. We will now indulge in the 20th century custom of shaking hands. Mr. Morneal Matheway?
Oh, well, sure. Shake. Yeah.
And you, sir?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind. Shake.
What a moment. What a supreme moment.
Oh, well, what do you mean, what a moment? What's so special about it? Are you the inventor of time travel?
Me, an inventor? No. Time travel was invented by Antoinette Ingeborg, and, well, that was after your time. It's hardly worth going into at the moment, especially since I only have half an hour.
Why half an hour?
The skin drum can only be maintained that long. The skin drum is, well, call it the transmitting device that enables me to appear in your period. There is such an enormous expenditure of power required that a trip into the past is made only every 50 years. The privilege is awarded as a sort of go-bell. I believe I have the word right. It is go-bell, isn't it? The award made in your time?
Well, you wouldn't mean Nobel by any chance, a Nobel Prize?
That's it, the Nobel Prize. A trip is awarded to outstanding scholars as a kind of Nobel Prize. Once every 50 years, the man selected by the Gardemax is the most preeminent, that sort of thing, you know. Up to now, of course, it's always gone to historians, or they frittered it away on the siege of Troy and the first atom bomb explosion at Los Alamos, or the discovery of America, things like that. But this year...
Yes? Well, what kind of scholar are you?
I am an art scholar. My specialty is art history, and my special field in art history is...
What? What?
You... Mr. Matheway. In my own period, I may say without much contradiction, I am the greatest living authority on the life and works of Morneal Matheway. My special field is you.
Dave, did you hear that? Dave! I heard. Do you mean that I'm famous? That famous?
Famous? You, my dear sir, are beyond fame. You are one of the immortals the human race has produced.
That famous?
That famous. Who is the man with whom modern painting in its full glory is said to have definitely begun? Who is the man whose designs and color have dominated architecture for the past 5 centuries? Who is responsible for the arrangement of our cities, the shape of our artifacts, the texture of our clothing?
Me.
You. No other man in the history of art has exerted such a massive influence over design. To whom can I compare you, sir? To what other artist in history can I possibly compare you?
Rembrandt? Da Vinci?
Rembrandt and Da Vinci in the same breath as you. That's ridiculous. They lacked your universality, your taste for the cosmic.
Wow.
Mr. Glescu, excuse me. Do you happen to know of a poet named David Danziger? Did much of his work survive?
Is that you?
Yes, that's me. Dave Danziger?
Well, no, I don't think so. The only poet I can remember for this time and this part of the world is Peter Tebb.
Tebb? Never heard of him.
Then this must have been before he was discovered. But you see, I am an art scholar. Well, you see, checking my chronometer, I see my time is getting short. But it is an overwhelming delight for me to be standing in your studio, Mr. Matheway, and looking at you at last in the flesh. I wonder if you would mind obliging me with a small favor.
Oh, sure. You name it. Nothing's too good for you. What do you want?
I wonder, I'm sure you don't mind, could you possibly let me look at your painting? The one that you're working on at this very moment.
Well, sure. I have one right over here. Just, I'll pull the easel around. There you are. I intend to call this Figurines number 29.
Oh, but this...
What's the matter?
Well, surely this isn't your work, Mr. Matheway?
Yeah. It's my work, all right. Figurines number 29. Recognize it?
No, I do not recognize it, and that is a fact for which I am extremely grateful. Could I see something else, please? Something a little later.
Well, that's the latest. Everything else is earlier. Here, you might like this. Now, I call this Figurines number 22. I think it's the best of my early period.
Oh, dear. You know, well, this looks like smears of paint on top of other smears of paint.
Right. Only I call it smudge on smudge. But you probably know all about that, being such an authority on me. And now, here we have figurines number 12.
Do you mind leaving these figurines, Mr. Matheway? I'd like to see something of yours with color and form.
Well, I haven't done any real color work for a long time. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I have one over here somewhere. An old canvas. I was going to paint over it. Here we are. This is one of the few examples of my mauve and mottled period that I've kept.
No, I can't imagine why. It's positively, oh, dear.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Let me show you some of my intestinal period. Here. Here's a particularly good one. It's called Large Intestine Rampant. You like it?
Oh, please. I think I'd like to sit down.
Well, take the comfortable chair. And here's another one called Small Intestine Incisive. Oh, it's rather good, don't you think? I managed to avoid completely any definite line. You notice that?
I don't suppose you ever drink of Glafax. Oh, no, of course you don't. It hasn't been invented yet.
Oh, now here's one that's bound to be great. It's one of my earlier smudge on smudges. It's called Fly Ash. I painted it by coating the canvas with slow-setting glue and leaving it out on the window for about 2.5 hours. Notice the delicate deposit of soot.
Oh, please. Please, Miss Matheway, please.
Oh, I've got lots more.
I don't understand this. All these canvases, this is obviously before you discover yourself and your true technique. But I'm looking for a sign, a hint to the genius that is to come, and I find...
Well, how about this one? Here.
Oh, please. Oh, take that away. Oh, dear, no. Oh, look, I'll have to leave soon. I don't understand this at all. Let me show you something here, gentlemen. Here, a pocket edition of the source book.
The complete paintings of Morneal Matheway, 1928-1996. Were you born in 1928?
Yep. May 23rd, 1928.
Here, look at the first painting.
Well, that's beautiful. I mean, the color, that's incredible.
Oh, well, that stuff. Well, why didn't you tell me you wanted that kind of stuff?
You mean you have paintings like this, too?
No, not paintings. One painting. Oh, I did it last week as a sort of an experiment, but I wasn't satisfied with the way it turned out, so I gave it to the girl downstairs. Would you like to look at it?
Oh, yes. Very much.
Well, here, I'll just toss you a book on the bed. Come on, it won't take a minute or two. Oh, she isn't home. I thought she'd be home now. Oh, I did so want you to see that painting.
I want to see it. I want to see anything that looks like your mature work. But time is getting short. The chronometer...
I'll tell you what. Anita here has a couple of cats that she asked me to feed when she's away for a while. So she's given me the key to her apartment. Suppose I, browse upstairs and get it.
But
Suppose I browse through my room and get it. Get it?
Oh, yeah. You go ahead and browse, sure.
Fine, but please hurry.
Oh, sure, I'll hurry. I won't take long browsing.
Well, that was it, the high sign. I'd seen Morneal Matheway in action too many times as a shoplifter not to understand it. He was going upstairs to lift that book that he'd dropped on the bed. I knew he hadn't ever painted a picture like the one in the book, but he would now. Only he wouldn't paint them. He'd copy them. Well, I started talking automatically. You paint yourself, Mr. Glasgow?
No. Of course, I wanted to be an artist when I was a boy. I imagine every critic starts out that way, but I found it far easier to write about paintings than to do them. Once I began reading the life of Morneal Matheway, I knew I had found my field. Not only do I empathize closely with his paintings, but he seems so much like a person I could have known and liked. That's one of the things that puzzles me. He's quite different from what I had imagined.
Yes, I'll bet he is.
Of course, history has a way of adding romance to an important figure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear, I'm running out of time here. Do you think you'll be back with the key soon? I've practically no time left. I've just got to get upstairs to the time translator. I just can't wait. I'll have to hurry now. Oh, dear, I did want to see an original Matheway. I did want to. Mr. Matheway, Oh!
What's the matter?
The time translator. It isn't here. It's gone.
The book is gone, too.
And Matheway, he stranded me here. He must have figured out that getting inside and closing the door made it return.
Yeah, he's a great figure. And he'll probably figure out a very plausible story to tell the people in your time to explain how the whole thing happened. Why should he work his head off in the 20th century when he can be an outstanding hero-worship celebrity in the 25th?
Yes, what will happen if they ask him to paint merely one picture?
Oh, he'll probably tell them he's already done his work and feels he can no longer add anything of importance to it. He'll no doubt end up giving lectures on himself. Don't worry. He'll make out. It's you I'm worried about. You're stuck here, aren't you? Are they likely to send a rescue party after you?
No. Every scholar who wins the award has to sign a waiver of responsibility in case he doesn't return. No, I'm stuck here. Tell me, is it very bad living in this period?
Well, not so bad. Of course, you'll need a Social Security card. And I don't know how you go about getting one at your age. And, well, the immigration authorities may want to question you since you're sort of an illegal alien.
Oh, dear. That's awful.
Wait a minute. It needn't be. I'll tell you what. Morneal has a Social Security card. He had a job a couple of years ago. He keeps his birth certificate in that drawer along with his other papers. Now, why don't you just assume his identity? He'll never show you up as an imposter.
So do you think I could? Won't I be... won't his friends, his relatives...
No, he hasn't got any family, and I'm about the only friend he's got. You could get away with it. Maybe grow a beard and dye it blonde. Naturally, the big problem would be earning a living. Being a specialist on Matheway and the art movements derived from him wouldn't get you set an awful lot right now.
But I could paint. I've always dreamed of being an artist. I don't have much talent, but there are all kinds of artistic novelties I know about, all kinds of graphic innovations that don't exist in your time. Surely that would be enough, even without talent, to make a living for me on some third or fourth-rate level.
It certainly was. But not on a third or fourth-rate level. Mr. Glasgow, that is Morneal Matheway, is the finest painter alive today and the unhappiest. After his last wildly successful exhibition, I remember he said to me,
"What's the matter with all these people praising me like that? I don't have an ounce of real talent in me. All my work is completely derivative. I've tried to do something, anything that was completely my own, but I'm so steeped in Matheway that I can't seem to make my own personality come through. And those idiotic critics go on raving about me, and the work isn't even my own."
Well, then whose is it?
Matheway's, of course. We thought there couldn't be a time paradox. I wish you could read all the scientific papers on the subject. They fill whole libraries because it isn't possible, the time specialists argue, for a painting to be copied from a future reproduction and so have no original artist. But that's what I'm doing. I'm copying from that book by memory.
Look, Glasgow, that is Matheway. Don't knock yourself out.
But it's dishonest.
No, it isn't. You're deliberately trying not to copy those paintings. You're working so hard at it that you refuse to think about that book or even discuss it. As a matter of fact, when I tried to get you to talk about it a little while ago, you couldn't actually remember it.
That's true. It's true.
You're the real Morneal Matheway, and there's no paradox. You're actually painting those pictures. You're not copying them from memory.
I know in my heart that they're not mine.
All right, I'll forget it. Anyway, you're a much nicer guy than Matheway ever was. And besides, a buck is a buck.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features Lulu by Clifford D. Simak, a story which demonstrates that a spaceship should be a darb, a smasher, a pip, a beaut, but man all battle stations if it ever becomes a sweetheart of a ship. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, X-1 has brought you The Discovery of Morneal Matheway, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by William Tenn and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in our cast were Leon Janney as Matheway, Guy Repp as the critic, Wendell Holmes as Glasgow, and Les Damon as Dave. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production. Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1. Tonight, we take you some 800 years into the future to meet man's best friend.
Well, what's the matter? Who's there? What? Oh, turn on the annunciator. All right, I'm coming. I'm coming. Well, stand in front of the screen. I can't see you.
I am in front of the screen, Mr. Schnee. You haven't turned up the viewing control.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you are. Do I know you?
May I be the first to congratulate you, Mr. Schnee?
You may indeed. What for?
Oh, you haven't heard the news. Good, then I shall be the first. I imagine I got a head start on the others because of my superior facilities for locating you. Your address wasn't given. These pronouncements do tend to be a bit vague. It's a matter of tradition, I suppose.
I haven't heard any news for days. I've been listening to my sound tapes and and meditating. Now, wait a minute. I'll let you in. Oh, the auto bursar must have forgotten to pay the doorbell. Have to open it manually. Just a minute. All right, you can come in now.
Well, I suppose you don't know who I am.
Well, you're wearing the uniform of an upper echelon salesman. I just wanted to warn you, nobody can force me to buy anything. I'm a free citizen.
Oh, now, come, Mr. Schnee.
I suppose the big news is I'm the lucky householder to whom the little gem room expander will first be offered.
Oh, nothing of the sort. I'm not a common salesman.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice your merchant prince badge. Come in, have a chair. No, not that one. It's my meditator. It's still running.
Oh, thank you.
Well?
Mr. Schnee, our prognosticator has just given its fortnightly prognostication. You are going to be our new ruler. Congratulations. I'm sure you'll be a splendid one, too.
But wait, what's to become of the old ruler?
You're scheduled to dispose of him sometime this month. Now, Mr. Schnee, allow me to introduce myself. I am Biedrich Floria, Vice President of the Munitions and Container Corporation. Here I have our latest model in this case right here. There we are. Beautiful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you will only agree to shoot Overlord Kip with a Floria Semper Fidelis gun, my corporation will be happy to place a substantial amount of credit at your disposal in any bank you choose. $6 billion, to be exact. Now, if you'll just sign here on the dotted line...
Nonsense.
Oh, come now, Mr. Schnee. Even a ruler can use money. Bribery for government officials, bread and circuses for the people. Oh, money's a very useful commodity, Mr. Schnee. Shall we say, $7 billion?
I don't doubt that money is useful, but when I said nonsense, I meant the prognosticator.
Mr. Schnee?
The whole thing is a lot of, nonsense. A whole planet of supposedly intelligent people listening to what's really more an oracle. A machine can't read the future. It's impossible.
Oh, dear, Mr. Schnee, that's sacrilege. You can't talk, confound it, sir. You can't talk that way about the machine. Listen, after all, let's look at this reasonably. Machines can and do answer all the problems of our daily life. So why shouldn't a superior machine be able to tell the future?
If you ask me, behind the wires and gimmicks and whatnots of the machine, there's a secret room in which a half-mad, half-intoxicated old priestess sits delivering her Delphic pronouncements. Might as well have an above-board oracle and be done with it.
Now, Mr. Schnee, even our ruler shouldn't flout the authority of machinery. Of course, it's all right when you're alone with friends like me, but in public you shouldn't.
Mr. Schnee, I'm from the Daily Disseminator. How does it feel to be ruler prognosticate? Perhaps you tell us in your own words.
Oh, that's what I get for leaving the annunciator on.
There's your communitive.
All right. I'll answer it. Hello.
Mr. Schnee?
Yeah.
I'm Overlord Kip. I understand you are the young man who was destined to dispose of me and take my place.
Well, honestly, Your Honorship, I haven't the slightest
You'll make it swift and painless, won't you? Suppose you come around to the palace around 1 o'clock or so. We can have a bite of lunch and discuss the matter together. After all, I think you'd agree that I have been a reasonably good ruler, so I have the right to die with dignity.
Oh, absolutely. No question of that. I think it's a very good idea having a chat about it first. It is awkward to dispose of someone you haven't met previously.
Thank you, Mr. Schnee. I hope you'll find your successor as cooperative as yourself.
I wonder whether he wants me to make an appointment so he'll have a band of counter-assassins ready to kill me. You know, that would save him the expense of a standby guard. He's pretty tight, you know.
He wouldn't dream of doing anything of the sort. Overlord Kip knows what's due his position. He has a sense of duty and responsibility, which, unfortunately, seems to be lacking in his successor, if you'll excuse me speaking frankly. I am, of course, considerably older than you, and so I feel...
It's quite all right. You may speak freely.
Furthermore, if he had you killed, the people would probably give him a painful and lingering death for attempting to interfere with the course of destiny. Oh, by the way, speaking of the people, the Polo will probably be around to hail their new leader soon. You really should work up a few well-chosen words.
Well, I'm not going to do it. They can't make me kill him and take over, and that is flat. I am not the administrative type. I never have been.
Well, in that case, the people will probably kill you for attempting to interfere with fate. Have a cigar?
But I wouldn't have done anything.
There are sins of omission as well as commission. Come now, it's true. A ruler's life expectancy isn't very long. At least it hasn't in the last few reigns, but it's longer than yours will be if you refuse to fulfill your destiny.
I wouldn't make a fit ruler. Consider my origins. I wouldn't tell this to anyone but you. I'm illegitimate. I don't even know who my father is.
It's a wise child who knows his own father. And some of the most celebrated leaders in history have been illegitimate. Look at William the Conqueror, Alexander Hamilton.
I don't think that's too much of a recommendation.
You see, almost anyone can be a leader. The important thing is that he be destined for leadership.
But I'm no good at it. Everybody says so. I've never done a thing in my life. My aged mother has had to work to support me.
Well, it's time enough that you stood on your own 2 feet, my boy. Remember, destiny must take its course. Oh, excuse me, I'm due on radio monitor in a few seconds. If you don't mind, I'll broadcast from here. I'll just check my equipment here. Fine. Now, here we go. My friends, allow me to introduce to you your new ruler, Gervais Schnee. He is planning to assassinate Overlord Kip with a Floria Semper Fidelis gun. Floria Semper Fidelis guns retail from credit 2.98 for the peasant's pistol, all up to credit 1089.98 for the super deluxe conspirator's model. But each is the best attainable for the price. Mr. Schnee will, of course, use the super deluxe model. And now I give you Mr. Schnee.
Right into here?
Oh, anywhere. It's non-directional.
Oh. Thank you for your confidence and support. I only hope I prove worthy of it. That's all.
Thank you, ruler prognosticate Gervais Schnee.
Will you have some more wine, Mr. Schnee?
Oh, no, thank you, Overlord Kip. I've had too much already.
It's a delightful vintage, isn't it? I think it was bought by Overlord Jasper about 7 reigns ago. You'll find the cellars in perfect order. I'll give you the inventory and the key a little later.
Do we have to talk about it?
Oh, well, one has to take these things as they come, you know. Here today, gone tomorrow. That reminds me. Will tomorrow suit you?
Well, of course, it really doesn't make any difference to me.
All right, then. We'll set it for tomorrow, if that's convenient for both of us. I have the afternoon clear. We'll make a public announcement a little later.
Well,
all right, if you say so.
Of course. And now we can go into my study and discuss the details at our leisure. I've got half a box of some wonderful cigars left over. I think you'll enjoy them.
Oh, Mr. Schnee. Mr. Schnee, you aren't ready yet.
Well, I can't button the top button of this uniform.
Oh, isn't it handsome? Black and silver, the traditional assassin's uniform.
It was made for me without charge by Hanson and Cruster, the tailors.
Yes, of course. It's the curse these days, you know, the over-commercialization of important public functions. Oh, wait a minute, I have your pistol ready here. I bet you're excited. Couldn't sleep last night, eh?
No, well, yes, I did toss a bit.
Well, I see you're getting telegrams. Isn't that nice? Had your breakfast?
Oh, well, I don't think I'm exactly in the mood for eating.
Oh, you should, you know. A good breakfast makes good aim.
Well, I really couldn't eat a thing.
Well, you'll have a fine lunch after it's all over. I saw your black and silver limousine at the door.
What? I don't have a black and silver limousine.
You do now. Oh, yes. You know, there's going to be a brass band along. There'll be crowds cheering. Oh, it's such a lovely morning. You've hired 2 removers, I trust.
Removers. Yes, I think so.
Good. Oh, what pageantry. The black and silver limousine, yourself in your lovely uniform, the black cloak and hood of the body removers sitting beside the chauffeurs, silent. The band playing the funeral march as you move down the boulevard. Crowds cheering, little children that out of school presenting you with flowers and television cameras. Oh, what a sight, what a sight. Well, now it's about 10:30. Shall we be off? Well, come on. Get out of the car, Mr. Schnee.
I don't feel so good.
Well, come on now. The television cameras are ready. There we are. Just a moment. Now, ruler prognosticate Schnee, allow me to load your super deluxe conspirators Floria Semper Fidelis gun for you.
It's already loaded.
I'm supposed to do it now for the cameras.
It's already loaded.
Permit me to check it, then?
It's perfectly all right, I tell you. No, don't touch it. Nobody would have any difficulty loading a Semper Fidelis gun.
Wait, yes, that's right. Yes, of course. Whether you buy the peasants or the conspirators model, both have the same freeloading mechanism.
Here we are, candy, popcorn, hot shish, yogurt. Buy your refreshments here. Program. Sometimes you can't tell the assassins from the corpse without a program. Hit your program for the program.
All right, Schnee, it's time. Let's go.
Well, here we are again, eh?
Overlord Kip, I am officially here.
Well, now, just a minute, old man. I have my speech, you know.
Your speech? Oh, I'm sorry, really.
Well, that's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, before the conclusion of this ceremony, I wish to remind you of a few important facts concerning my reign, which comes to an end in just a few minutes. I call your attention to the budget of 2786. 83 billion credits against an outgo of 72 billion. Not to mention the dam across the Volga River, which was constructed 3 months short of the proposed 5-year date at a cost of 73 billion. I thank you. Well, that's it, old man, huh?
Are you all done?
Why, yes, I think I've covered everything. Well, goodbye and good luck, Overlord Schnee. Anytime you're ready.
You mean now?
Well, come along, old man. The networks have only cleared an hour. There's a commercial program starting in 3 minutes. Get on with it.
Well, all right. Here goes. All right. Everyone will now please leave while the removers take over.
But the television, the cameras, it's part of the ceremony. Why can't they televise the removal?
Everybody leave immediately!
They're all gone now, Overlord Schnee. Perhaps...
You too.
But after all...
Out. I want to meditate.
Well, very well. All right.
Oh, alone at last. Kip. Overlord Kip.
Phew. I don't think I'd have been able to stay still much longer.
You all right?
Schnee, you're a good shot. That blank really stung on a very tender spot, I might add.
No time for chatting. We've got to get this over in a hurry. Now comes the part where your friends will have to look like real removers. I hope they can give it the professional touch.
Don't worry about us. We are real removers. At least both of us have participated in removals. I'll take off my hood.
But wait. Why, you're Overlord Morehouse. I've seen you in pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one. You're Shinnick. You died before I was born. That is, you were supposed to have died. Both of you were. Morehouse was supposed to have killed you.
Well, we're not precisely dead, only retired, you might say. The prognosticator didn't say he had to be killed, just disposed of, as Kip undoubtedly pointed out to you in your little interview together.
Sorry I couldn't tell you the truth, old man, but you might have changed your mind and given us away.
We've formed a little club of dead overlords.
We're looking forward to the day when you join us, Overlord Schnee.
Well, you better hurry. If the four of us are discovered, the mob will tear us to pieces.
Oh, you're right. Get on the stretcher, Kip. Bad enough we're going to have to carry you out. At least don't expect us to lift you up.
Floria?
Yes, Your Honorship?
The prognosticator is right here in the palace, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honorship.
Lead me to it immediately.
Certainly, Your Honorship. It's this way. Here you are, Your Honorship. This is the prognosticator. 20 stories high, 100 meters wide, the center of our entire civilization.
Leave me. I would be alone with the prognosticator.
But Your Honorship...
Leave me, and take all the technicians with you.
Yes. Yes, Your Honorship. You're all alone now, Your Honorship?
You too. Leave me.
Well, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honorship. Your wishes are my command.
Well.
You dumb cluck, that door says private.
Open up, it's me, Gervais. Open up.
Oh, all right, don't rush me. Oh, it's you, is it?
Let me in.
Well, hurry up. Don't want any of these nosy scientists around. Well, what do you want?
Still the same old place, huh? Teapot. Your crystal ball has dust on it. And why don't you get yourself a new pack of gypsy cards? And please get rid of that old overstuffed horror.
That old overstuffed horror is a rare old psychoanalyst couch. You see that hole? That's the original stuffing.
What is that smell? That's not tea you're drinking, it's gin.
Why, of course it is. Nice to see you, Sonny. It's about time you came to pay your old mother a visit. I kind of thought something like this would stir you up.
Mother, you know you shouldn't have done it.
What'd I do?
You fixed the prognostications, that's what you did. Although why you had to pick on me,
I got tired of supporting you. You're a big boy, and it's about time you earned your own living. Besides, I thought it'd be a good idea to elect a sympathetic administration. Sympathetic to me, that is. Palace needs a new ventilating system. The air in here is terrible.
Well, why didn't you use the prognosticator to get new ventilation put in?
Oh, they'd have gotten around it the same way you got around killing Kip. But you pay attention to the prognosticator, boy. Don't you try to weasel out of what it says by looking for double meanings. It's time you overlords learned that when the prognosticator says something, it means it.
Yes, Mother.
I'd hate to have to give orders to have my own boy disposed of. The last 3 disposals weren't so bad. But sometimes those disposals can turn out real messy.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, maybe blood is thicker than water, but not much.
Yes, Mother.
And why shouldn't you listen to my prognostications, huh? Just because they're dolled up a little doesn't mean they're not true. Don't I have a crystal ball? Don't I have a gypsy card pack? Don't I have tea leaves? Best tea leaves money can buy.
Yes, Mother.
So? What are you going to do?
I'm going to have the ventilating system attended to right away.
That's my boy. Now, look at these here tea leaves in the bottom of my cup of gin.
Yes, Mother.
I can see that everything's going to work out fine. Just fine.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features The Hardest Bargain by Evelyn Smith. Galaxy Magazine on your newsstand today. Tonight, X-1 has brought you Man's Best Friend, a story from the pages of Galaxy, written by Evelyn Smith and adapted for radio by Ernest Kanoy. Featured in the cast were William Redfield as Schnee, Wendell Holmes as Floria, Santos Ortega as Kip, and Leona Powers as Mother, with Raymond Edward Johnson and Bob Hastings. Your announcer, Radcliffe Hall. With this broadcast, X-1 concludes its present series. The show will return to the air on Thursday, June 20th. Check your local radio listings for the new date and time. That's Thursday, June 20th. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
When the powerful diesel-motored cruiser bearing the Gregory party swept away from the Magic Island, their escape seemed perfect. With only enough oil on board to run the motors a short time, a radio message from Johnson saying he was dropping drums of oil with lighted buoys along their course cheered them on. Then, just 50 miles from Euclidia, the motors sputtered and went dead. And barely in time, the first oil drum was sighted and picked up. But it's now 3 hours later, nearly midnight, and the motors of the Gregory boat have not turned over since the oil drum was taken aboard. They will never run on the oil from that drum, because the drum contained not oil, but turpentine. In the inky blackness of the subtropic night, Captain Bradford and Jerry stand at the rail, near the stern of the helpless boat.
Gee, Tex, we've only made about 2 miles in the last 3 hours. That won't do us any good.
I know it, Jerry, but there isn't a thing we can do about it. That little scrap of sail is all we can hang on her. And even in a stiff breeze, we couldn't make over 4 or 5 knots. With this deadly calm that's all around us, we're lucky to hold her steady.
Why can't we add more sail, Tex? Oh, we've got plenty of canvas, and we could lash a long spar to the mast and hang it on there. It might not look so good, but it'd catch a lot more wind than that dinky little thing.
I don't think I haven't thought of all those things, Jerry. That would only make matters worse if we got a real breeze.
How come? I thought the more sail, the more speed.
Well, that's okay up to a certain point. And on a vessel that was intended for sail. But the mast on this boat was only an afterthought, to use as a radio aerial, and for a little auxiliary sail at times. If you really hung enough canvas on that mast to kick this boat along at good speed, she'd bury her nose so deep we'd never come up. The mast is too far forward. We haven't got keel enough for a canoe. Just won't handle as a sailboat.
Gee, Captain Bradford, it doesn't look so hot for us.
No, kid. We could be a lot better off than we are now.
8 bells. Midnight. And we're just about as close to that island as we were when we picked up that oil drum 3 hours ago.
Afraid so, Jerry. We haven't made more than a couple of miles. 3 at the most.
And those Euclidean guys have had 3 hours to wake up and start doing things about catching us.
Yes, and I think that formula of mine, which put them to sleep, might be wearing off any time now, too.
Don't you think we ought to call Johnson, Tex?
I hate to do it. It means that steamer will have to turn around, bring him back here to us, and then probably be captured along with Johnson and all the rest of them.
I'm sorry for Mrs. Gregory.
Yeah, it's been mighty hard on her, all right.
Well, it doesn't matter so much about you and me. After all, we're men, and we can stand a lot more than women can. But poor Mrs. Gregory's been hunting for Joan all over the world for 14 years. And now she's found her. Well, it looks like maybe she'll never get back home.
Well, we mustn't give up, kid. We found that crazy island which the rest of the world didn't know existed. We spent a lot of days there, and we got away. That's more than anybody else ever did.
Yeah, but don't forget about the old sailor they turned loose just long enough for him to broadcast the radio message that brought us here. They took him back to the island, and, well, that was the end of him.
Yes, I know, but nothing like that's going to happen to us.
And say, we never did find the old sailor's diary. I wish Joan and I could have had time to look for it when we went down inside the island.
Oh, it's no use. Anyway, I think Joan knows as much or more about that place as that poor old man ever did.
Oh, gee, I just can't stand here and look at the dark any longer.
Well, what else can we do?
Well, we can walk around the deck. That's better than standing still.
Well, all right, here we go, son. May not do any good, but it certainly can't hurt anything. I'm getting like you. I've got to do something to keep from thinking what a jam we're in.
Well, I guess we might just as well stand at the rail and watch the stars again for a while. Well, I thought I couldn't stand still, and now I'm getting tired of this walking. Well, we must have gone around the deck hundreds of times, Tex.
Yes, we've been on it for hours, son. I only hope Joan and her mother are getting some sleep. They put out the light in their cabin a couple of hours ago. Good thing we had those oil lights on board. Otherwise, we'd have to stay in the dark all the time to save the juice for the radio.
Gee, 8 bells again. 4 o'clock in the morning. We've walked around that deck for 4 hours.
Yes, but our walking was like our thinking. We didn't get anywhere.
Hey, look. The light in Mrs. Gregory's cabin.
Oh, we must have kept them awake walking around this deck.
I'll bet they weren't any more asleep than we were.
No, I expect not. It hasn't been a very restful night for anyone.
Oh, Tex. Jerry.
Hello?
Yes, Pat?
Come here, you two. Will you please?
Sure. Coming right up.
What's the matter, Pat? Something bothering you and Joan?
Nothing more than usual, Tex. It's just this waiting. Waiting. Waiting for what?
Haven't you and Joan been able to sleep at all?
Why, oh, you're all dressed, Mrs. Gregory. I'll bet you didn't even try to sleep.
Yes, I did, Jerry. But it wasn't any good.
Is Joan dressed, too?
Yes. Joan, dear.
Yes, Mother?
Come out on deck, dear. We may just as well talk to Tex and Jerry as to stay in there alone and worry.
I think there is no value in worrying. We can do nothing but wait.
Oh, golly whiskers. What can we do but worry while we're waiting?
I haven't been able to think of anything sensible to do.
I guess none of us have been any too bright about that. It'll soon be daylight. We may be able to hail a passing ship then.
And the Euclideans will surely be fully recovered from the effects of your gas, Captain. And they will be out here after us.
Well, we'd be just as well off on that crazy island as we are out here drifting around in the Pacific Ocean.
But the Euclideans will not be inclined to treat us kindly if they take us back there now.
I've been wondering just what their attitude will be.
You don't think they'd do anything terrible to us, do you?
I think our lives will be safe until G47 gets the captain's formula. But they have many ways of making life very unpleasant.
Yeah, and I'll bet old G47 remembers them all for us.
Well, let's walk around the deck. Jerry and I put in 4 hours at it, and it does help to pass the time away.
I'll say we walked around the deck. I was going to count how many times we did, but I lost track somehow.
I will count the revolutions we complete, Jerry, and you figure how far we travel. That will give us something to do at least.
Gee, I'm all in.
I, too, am very tired.
How about you, Pat?
I think this is as far as I care to go. It's broad daylight now, and we've seen nothing but water. And then more water.
Oh, let's go in the cabin and sit down a while.
Might as well, I guess.
8 bells. 8 o'clock in the morning. And we are very little farther from the island than we were at 9 o'clock last night.
How far has that sail actually carried us, Tex?
Oh, maybe 20, 25 miles in the 11 hours.
Oh, golly. We might as well be standing still.
Well, let's go in the cabin. Ought to be a little juice left in the batteries. I'm afraid the time has come for that last message to Johnson. Go on in, everybody.
Well, I'll find the oil lamp and light it.
I'll lie down and let you do the work, Tex.
Go ahead, Pat. Never mind the light, Jerry. We'll leave this door open. The daylight is good enough. We may even need the little bit of oil in the lamps pretty badly before we get out of this.
Okay, Tex.
I will just sit here on the couch with Mother. My feet do not feel very comfortable.
I wouldn't think so. Now, you three keep quiet, because I'll likely get a mighty weak signal out of this thing if I get any at all.
Gee, there's not much juice there. The tubes aren't even getting hot.
Going to be awful slow work if we ever get 'em hot.
You're going to tell Johnson our position is hopeless, aren't you, Tex? And see if he can't turn that boat around and come after us.
Well, I hate to do it, Pat, but we don't seem to have any choice. Quiet now. I'm going to try it. J24 wide or J12C? Hello, J12C? Bradford to Johnson. Hello? Hello, Johnson? QSN? Johnson. QSN, Bradford.
I don't think you're getting out far enough, Tex.
Afraid you're right, kid. We'll just leave it open a minute and see if we can pick up anything before the batteries die entirely out.
I am very much afraid, Captain Bradford, that the Euclideans will have their radios operating by this time, and your message will be picked up.
Tex knows that, dear. But it doesn't matter now. We're almost sure to get caught after all these hours. And if we can get one last message to Johnson, it will give us a thread of hope at least.
Hey, listen, everybody.
What is it, kid?
I mean, quiet. Listen for something.
Yes, I hear it.
It sounds like an airplane.
But where would an airplane come from?
From Euclidia, Jerry.
Quiet, everybody. Yep, that's it, all right. Well, we did our best.
But, Tex, there may be some hope. That plane doesn't have to be from Euclidia.
Well, I guess there isn't any other place it could be from.
Oh, it is a Euclidean plane.
Euclidean plane to Captain Bradford. Hello, Bradford. Waiting.
Will you answer him, Tex?
Guess I'd better.
Yeah, he might drop a bomb on us if you don't.
Bradford to plane. Go ahead.
You will drop your sail. Stand by. Lay to for submarine. Drop your bow anchor. You will be towed to Euclidia.
Lay to and stand by for boarding. We'll drop sail.
It is well. That is all. Remember that resistance on your part can mean but one thing. That is all.
Hey, I'm going out and get a look at that plane.
No, kid, you stay here. Pat, you and Joan run and tell the skipper and McLeod to take off the canvas and drop the bow anchor.
We will do it at once, Captain.
What are you and Jerry going to do, Tex?
I've just got an idea. Now, don't worry. We won't do anything foolish. Now, run along and tell the skipper.
We'll hurry, Tex.
Now, what do you want me to do?
Nothing, kid. I just wanted to get Pat and Joan out of here a minute while I tell you something that may prove mighty dangerous to you. But I've got an idea that when we land on the Magic Island this time, we're really going to be prisoners. We may be separated. So there's a few things you'll have to know.
Okay, I'm ready. What are they?
There goes the anchor. I wonder how long it'll be before that sub picks us up.
Commander S1 to Captain Bradford. S1 to the Gregory boat.
Gee, Tex, it's the same girl commander who helped us escape.
Yeah, but she can't do us any good now.
Captain Bradford, you will answer at once. I can hear your open beam.
Bradford to Commander S1. So we meet again. The bow anchor is out for you. Sail being taken down. That all?
That is all. You were wise to follow instructions. Captain, have you a landing stage aboard?
I have. On the port side.
You will make it ready at once. I will personally board you. That is all.
Gee, Tex, the commander's coming aboard herself.
Yeah, she's going to make sure we don't try any tricks.
No, Tex, she's coming aboard so she can get a chance to talk to us before we get back to the island. She's going to help us out.
I'm afraid not, Jerry. When we get back to Euclidia this time, we're done for.
Don't you believe it. That girl's on our side. You'll see when she gets here.
It was easy enough for the Gregory party to find the magic island of Euclidia, but it seems impossible for them to leave it. When Jerry and Joan rendered most of the equipment on the island useless, and the chemical formula of Captain Bradford's put many of the Euclidians to sleep, the Gregory boat left the island in safety. However, they ran out of fuel oil after an hour's run, and a drum of oil left floating on their course proved to be not oil but turpentine. So the helpless boat heaves to and is standing by now to be boarded and towed back to Euclidia by a submarine. Jerry and Joan, Mrs. Gregory, and Captain Bradford stand at the rail, waiting for the submarine.
But I tell you, that woman submarine commander's a good friend of ours.
Yeah, but don't be too sure of that, Jerry. She's coming out to capture us, isn't she?
That is something she cannot refuse to do, Captain Bradford. Her safety and any value she might have as a friend lie in the fact that the Euclideans do not suspect her.
I think that's reasonable enough, Tex.
Well, I'm not so sure, Pat.
Well, we haven't any choice. We're going to be towed back to G47 and his mad colony, and I, for one, have no interest in the person who takes us back.
Oh, you mustn't feel so hopeless, Mrs. Gregory. Why, that girl let the gas in the chemical laboratory put her to sleep just so she could help us before. Maybe she'll find some way to help us again.
You are right, Jerry. Commander S1 will aid us again if the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, but I've got a notion that after the way we handled him, old G47 is going to make it his business to see that no such opportunity gets a chance to present itself.
I wonder how close the sub was when she called us on the radio.
Would there be any way of knowing that, Tex?
No, and it wouldn't do any good if we did know. Thinking about getting a last-minute message to Johnson, weren't you, Jerry?
Yeah, I thought we might as well try it.
That would be of no help, Jerry. Johnson is too far away to come to our assistance now.
Yeah, not only that, but the batteries are so weak the set probably won't work more than a few miles.
Johnson might be trying to call us, though. Don't you think one of us should stay in the cabin with the radio?
Oh, I'll go in if you want me to, sir.
And I will go with you, Jerry.
Okay, Joan, come on.
Hold it a minute.
Yeah?
You and I'll stay here by this landing stage, kid. Let Joan and her mother go in the cabin and listen to the set. They can watch the sub through the porthole. It might be just as well for our party to be split up at this time.
Tex, what do you expect?
Oh, anything from these crazy Euclideans. But it's just possible Jerry and I might see something to be done.
I think that is well, Mother. We will go. You must be diplomatic, Jerry, and do nothing to irritate the commander.
You'll be careful, won't you, Tex?
Why, sure, honey. Don't worry. Go with Joan.
Hey, what do you think we can do when the submarine gets ready to board us?
Nothing, son. Not a thing. I'm not sure what kind of treatment to expect from the crew of the submarine. And if anything not so good happens, just as well to have Joan and Pat out of the way.
Now, look, Tex. I know that girl's on our side, and there's no use worrying about it. She runs that boat all alone with a one-man crew, and he'll have to stay with the boat, so she'll come aboard here alone, and she won't do anything to hurt us.
You mean she did run the boat alone when you and Joan rode in the submarine with her? But G47 and his scientists will be plenty sore now. There may be a half a dozen up on that boat.
Oh, what could they do to us?
They could decide that it was just a waste of time to tow this boat back to the Magic Island.
You mean they'd sink the boat?
Yeah, and they'd forget to take us off of it before they sunk it.
Gee whiz. What's your formula, Tex? They can't do anything to you until they get the formula.
I'm not entirely sure they haven't got it.
Oh, they couldn't have it. We know Johnson got the message off the pigeons we sent, and that's... Hey, the boat's rocking a whole lot more.
Yes, I think your girlfriend and her submarine are playing around under us here somewhere now.
Golly whiskers. There it is, Tex. There's the nose of the sub.
Yes, sir. Sticking straight up out of the water. I could almost reach out and touch it.
Better not. They'll be throwing open the port and the nose of it in a minute, and that thing's plenty heavy.
Look how it stands there, Jerry. Steady as a rock. Those Euclideans certainly know their stabilization principles.
I think I heard a noise inside the nose of that thing. They must be ready to open it. Boy, look at that. The whole end of it opens up.
They sure hit that landing stage neatly.
Here comes the commander.
You were right, Jerry. She is one of the most beautiful girls I ever saw. Well, we'd better help her up to the landing stage.
That will not be necessary. I personally stabilized the submarine. At this point, I can easily step to the landing stage.
Mighty independent, isn't she?
She's coming aboard alone, too. What did I tell you?
I hope you're right. Sorry we can't offer you more hospitality, Commander, but we're rather helpless here.
You need not apologize, Captain Bradford. I would hardly expect more from one who would attempt such a foolhardy escape as yours.
Well, we figured it was worth trying. Welcome to the ill-fated boat, Commander.
The ill fate of this boat is only in the contemplative stage now.
I got that one. You mean old G47 hasn't had time yet to figure out anything mean enough to do to us.
For one who speaks such a strange jargon as you, Hall, your understanding is surprising at times.
Oh, I'm all here.
Enough of this. You understand what must happen, Captain?
I'm afraid I do. You're to tow us to the island, and again we will be prisoners.
Exactly. But there is more. This time, you will not be allowed the freedom you previously enjoyed. You will be prisoners, in fact.
You mean we'll be put in those confinement cells?
Precisely.
Well, it will surprise me pleasantly if that's the worst that happens to us.
That will be only the beginning. Where are Mrs. Gregory and Cleostra?
Well, Mrs. Gregory and Joan are in the radio cabin.
Will you take me to them at once? We have little time.
Might I ask what you want to see them about?
I wish to explain to them that they will accompany me in the submarine, and I wish to explain to them privately.
You're going to take Pat and Joan with you in the sub?
And the captain and I stay here while you drag this boat in by the anchor?
Precisely. Will you hurry and take me to them?
No use arguing, Tex. she'd use that ray gun in a minute. And if anything happened to her, well, old SC-1 out there in the sub would finish us.
I was thinking of something else. Take the commander to the radio cabin, Jerry. I'll give orders to Mac and the skipper.
Okay, if you say so. This way, Commander. Watch your step on this deck. We got a couple of piles of canvas around here.
Hurry, Hall. I will need no guide.
Well, I guess you're never too old to learn. Skipper, McLeod.
Aye, Captain.
Come here a minute, will you?
I've just been waiting for a chance to come over and ask you if it's real or not.
That sub? It's real enough, all right.
Aye, and it just stands there with its nose out of the water while the girl captain looks out of a boat over there. This is a mad business, Captain Bradford.
That's mild, Mac. But here's the orders for the next step.
All right, Captain.
Now, we're to be towed back to Euclidia by that sub. They'll submerge and level it off. Then pick up our bow anchor with a magnetic fin in the stern of that thing. All we can do is to stand by and wait for results.
And when we get to the island, what then?
That's what we can only guess at. But I wanted to warn you that once we're on the island, do just as you're told.
Aye.
And say nothing.
I understand all that right.
Well, that's all, Mac. Relay that to Skipper, will you?
Aye, sir. I will that. And if you don't understand it any better than I do, we both know nothing.
Well, I can't say I blame you much. Oh, hello, Commander. Leaving us so soon?
I will return immediately to my command. The ladies are going to accompany me. It may afford me an opportunity to give them a bit of advice. Please see that they join me as quickly as possible. G47 will be very impatient.
Okay, Commander. I'll hurry them along.
Hurry, Joan, dear.
Coming, Mother.
The Commander's waiting for you, Pat.
I know it. But there were one or two little things I had to do before leaving.
I'm all ready now, Mother. Is Jerry not here yet?
I thought the kid was with you.
The commander sent him to your cabin for something. He will explain after we're gone. Oh, Tex, I'm so afraid of all this.
Well, keep your chin up, Pat. We'll be seeing you on the island in a couple of hours.
Yes, Mother. There is nothing to worry about. And we must hurry. The commander is motioning us to come aboard the submarine.
Come then, Joan, dear. We'll have to make the best of it. And goodbye, Tex.
Remember, Pat, chin up. Good luck.
Thank you, Captain.
Well, there she goes. I wonder where all this will end.
Hey, Tex.
Yes, Jerry, hurry up. The sub is submerging.
You'd better come here a minute. I got something to show you.
All right, son. Hold it there. I'm coming.
I'm around here in the radio cabin, Tex. I'm sorry I had to yell at you to come here, but I was afraid to be seen around on that side of the boat.
What's it all about, kid?
Well, I think we'd better shut the cabin door. We can't do any good by watching the top of the water anyhow.
You sound mighty mysterious. Well, there it is. What's on your mind?
Well, look. Now, you know Joan and I had a couple of those Euclidean 5-minute ray guns? And those two big ones we took off the guards?
Yes, I know. What about them?
Oh, that girl commander brought us some of the little cylinders you slip inside them. Kind of like a reload.
She did, huh? Well, have you got them all fixed up now?
Yeah, here they are. We'd better keep them hidden in our clothes. The commander was supposed to take them away from us.
Well, what excuse can she offer for not having them when we get back to the island?
Well, she said she could think of some excuse by the time we got there.
Sounds like the submarine must be hooked onto our bow anchor.
Yeah. The boat's beginning to roll a little. Guess we'll make it to the island in a couple of hours.
Yeah, and with these ray guns, Jerry, we've got a chance to do something after we get on the island. But listen, we'll have to watch our step.
The commander said to leave that guard tied up where we've got him till we get to the island.
Yeah, a lot of good he did us. Couldn't get a word out of him.
Well, we might have if we could have had only taken him farther from the... Hey, Tex, the boat's listing pretty bad.
Yeah, guess that bow anchor line is straining crooked.
No, something funny's going on here.
What's up, Skipper?
Listing.
Yeah, I just noticed it.
That anchor pulling crooked?
No.
What's wrong, then?
Leaking.
This boat's leaking?
Aye.
What from?
Hole.
We're shipping water through a hole? How did a hole get in this boat?
Chop.
Who could have done it?
Prisoner.
That Euclidean guard got loose. Well, where is he now?
Gone.
Golly whiskers.
Kellogg's Pep!
Super Delicious Cereal presents The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from another planet, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, defender of law and order, champion of equal rights, valiant, courageous fighter against the forces of hate and prejudice, who is today unaware that thousands of miles above him, the tiny silver radar rocket hangs motionless in space as its 3 occupants try to find some means of meeting their dilemma. We'll join them in a moment, but right now we have a surprise. For waiting to talk to you is the Man of Steel himself. Come in, Superman.
Fellows and girls, our President Truman has given this week a special name, Brotherhood Week. And that name has a special meaning for every one of us. You know, our weapon that helped most to win the war was the spirit of unity. Everybody pitched in and cooperated with everybody else like brothers. Nowadays, that same spirit is just as important to help keep our country the kind we want to grow up in. Actually, hate hurts no one but ourselves. But tolerance, the attitude of looking for the good that's in every person, regardless of race, creed, or national background, can help a lot to make each one of us really strong in character and to make our whole nation strong. So let's go all out for real, honest-to-goodness teamwork. That will help make America greater than ever before.
Now to our story. Unknown to either Clark Kent or Perry White, or even his mother, Jimmy Olsen, together with Poco, the little man from Utopia who talks in rhyme, took off with Professor Timothy T. Twiddle in the professor's radar rocket. Their destination, the moon. It was Professor Twiddle's theory that the rocket could ride a radar beam to the moon and back in little more than an hour. But yesterday, as you remember, while hissing through space at 5,000 miles a minute, the rocket suddenly stopped short and hung suspended in the sky like a big silver cigar. Someone at the radar machine in Professor Twiddle's house on Earth had cut off the beam, leaving them hanging in space, unable to move either up or down. And, as the professor pointed out, they had only enough oxygen to last 24 hours. At that point, Professor Twiddle produced 2 live pigeons he had brought along. When he saw them, Jimmy was struck with an idea. Listen.
Oh, boy. Those pigeons are going to save our lives. Get a pencil, Poco. A pencil and a piece of paper. Hurry.
Oh, paper, pencil, hurry, hurry. Hurry, scurry, worry, scurry.
Look, my beard, what are you doing with a paper and a piece of pencil?
Oh, think, Professor, think. The pigeons.
The pigeons? The pigeons? That's my dead pigeons, can't I?
Oh, no, you don't understand. What are pigeons used for?
Well, some people eat them. Oh, if that's what you're suggesting.
No, not that. What else?
Bless my beard, I'm really not a pigeon expert, you know.
Oh, think, Professor, think. Pigeons fly, don't they?
Why, yes, of course.
They carry messages, don't they?
Carry messages?
Oh, you've heard of carrier pigeons.
Bless my beard, yes.
Well, that's what we're going to do. We'll send those pigeons back to Earth with messages. Poco, what about the paper and pencil?
I got the paper, that I found, but there's not a single pencil around.
Never mind, bring the paper. I've got a pen.
Just a minute, young man.
Professor, could you please stop calling me young man? My name is Jim. Jim or Jimmy?
Yes, of course. Now, look here. These pigeons...
Here's the paper.
Thanks, Poco. Oh, what were you saying, Professor?
I was about to say that you needn't have bothered with the paper.
Oh, how can we send messages down to Earth if we don't write them on paper?
You can't send messages to Earth.
Why not?
1, these aren't carrier pigeons. And 2, even if they were, you seem to forget we're suspended 10,000 miles above the Earth. How long do you think it would take for a pigeon to fly 10,000 miles?
Oh, gosh, I forgot about that.
Pigeons fly at a maximum speed of 50 miles an hour. Maximum, mind you, maximum. That means it would take them 200 hours to reach the Earth. At the moment, we have an oxygen supply sufficient for 18 hours.
Well, it was a good idea anyway.
Hey, King, supposing you got me down. Maybe I'd land in a village or town.
This is no time for jokes,
Oh,
Poco.
it isn't a joke. I'm quite sincere. Oh, I should be punished for putting you here.
Oh, forget it. It's my own fault.
X equals 4 squared over 12 in the ratio to C minus R7 plus 9.
Huh?
I was just thinking about the pigeons and your idea about sending messages to Earth.
Oh, you said it couldn't be done.
I was just thinking. Since we are in a region devoid of atmosphere, there would be no resistance to the flight of the pigeons. No air resistance, that is. They might be able to drop to Earth at an incredible speed.
Do you think so? Do you really think so?
Very likely.
Oh, from the sail, pigeons nice. Oh, I hope you haven't twiddled right.
Professor Twiddle, if you please, Poco.
Oh, yes, sir, Professor.
Then Then should I write the messages, Professor?
Patience.
But every minute counts. If we're going to send them down, let's do it.
The one big problem is, will they go down? What if they go up?
Why do you have to think of things like that?
One must think of everything. Now let me... I have it. We'll weight them.
We'll what?
Weight them. Tie something heavy to one of their legs. Then they can't fly up. They'll have to fly down. A key. Do either of you have a key?
Well, I've got the key to my house and the key to the office.
Perfect. Let me have it.
Here.
Thank you. I suggest you write your message.
Okay. Then one to Inspector Henderson and the other to Clark Kent.
Yes, one should be sent to Mr. Kent.
What do I say?
Oh, tell them we're stuck. Oh, somewhere in space, and we don't believe it's a healthy
Oh, use your head, Poco. What good's that? They can't come up here and get us.
Oh, then tell them to go to...
Where?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you're a great help. Professor Twiddle.
Yes?
What do I write in the messages?
Just a moment. I'm tying the second key on. There. Now, what was it?
Well, these messages. Well, what do I say in them?
There's only one thing you can say. Tell whoever you're writing them to go at once to my house at 607 Winthrop Street and see what's wrong with the radar machine. At the same time...
Now, wait a minute. I can't write that fast. Mr. Twiddle's house at 607 Winthrop Street.
Okay.
See what's wrong. Radar machine.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Tell them to inform us we are suspended in the ionosphere without a radar beam.
Without radar beam.
And to give us one immediately.
Give us one immediately. Is that all?
That's plenty.
Well, I'll have to say something about our being stuck up here in this rocket so Mr. Kent and Inspector Henderson will understand.
Yes, of course.
Poco, while I'm writing out the second message, see if you can find some string to tie them on the paper.
Oh, a rubber band would be just grand.
Where are we going to find rubber bands?
Oh, I think I've got a slew of them. Oh, yes, and many more than two of them. Bless my beard, so he has.
Oh, good boy, Poco. I'll be finished with this in a minute. Gosh, I sure hope it works.
I, for one, wouldn't guarantee it.
Well, if it doesn't, our goose is cooked.
Oh, I wish I had a goose or two. I'm getting hungry, aren't you?
Keep away from those pigeons, Poco.
Oh, it wouldn't help me if I took them. There isn't any stove to cook them.
Don't even talk about it. Pigeons mean life or death to us. There. Both messages are written. Now, let's have the rubber bands, Poco.
You had better let me put them on the pigeons. They know my touch.
All right, here you are.
There, my fine beauties.
That's it, Professor. Talk to them. Tell them they've got to get those messages down.
Oh, now listen, pigeons. You've got to get the... nonsense. I'm quite sure they wouldn't understand me. That's one. Now the other.
Start praying, Poco. And keep all your fingers crossed.
All ready.
Good. Now, how do we get them out of here?
We'll have to open the door. But just for a moment. We mustn't lose oxygen. I'll hold the gauge while you move the bolts and swing the door open.
Out of the way, Poco.
We can't open the door too far. Just enough for us to fly out.
I know.
Then we must slam it shut fast. Now, the bolts first. Now the door, quickly. Whoosh! Out with you.
There they go.
Close the door, hurry. There. Bless my beard. I just remembered something. How stupid of me.
Oh, what is it, Professor?
Those pigeons can never reach the earth alive. There isn't enough oxygen.
Oh, is there at all? Even dead?
That all depends. If they die before they reach the Earth's atmosphere, that is, if they fail to get to the region where the Earth's gravity will pull them down, then they'll be suspended in space as we are. Forever.
Shocked, feeling as though all is lost, Jimmy stares through a porthole and watches the two pigeons fly out into endless space, carrying messages for Clark Kent and Inspector Henderson. Can they possibly reach the Earth 10,000 miles away? And if they do, will the messages be delivered? We'll know in just a moment. But first, here's a word from your announcer.
You know, gang, it's no ordinary sort of happening. That big moment when Mom opens a new package of Kellogg's Pep. You want to be right there because you're on edge to see which comic button is inside. Maybe it's a brand new one, a funny paper character that you don't have in your collection yet. And you're one more step on the way toward having all 18 buttons in the series. Or maybe it's a duplicate. Sometimes that's even more fun because then you can shop around among your pals and see who has a pet comic button that you want to trade for. And, of course, it's always a new thrill to pin another button on your jacket or your dress or cap so everybody can see how many you've collected. These pep comic buttons are so doggone smart-looking, and the colors are so bright and clear, and the pictures of your funny paper favorites look so true to life that, well, you'll be in a big hurry to collect all 18 buttons in this series. And you can, too. Sure, easy as anything. Just ask Mom to get you plenty of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. That's how easy it is to get these exciting comic buttons. You don't send in a single penny, not even a box top. And you can't buy them anywhere. Just look for your exclusive prize in every package of P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's, the greatest name in cereals. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
Long hours have gone by since the pigeons were released into space. The darkness has melted into daylight. High above the Earth, Jimmy, Poco, and Professor Twiddle sit suspended in space. And with each passing minute, their hope wanes. Meanwhile, at the Daily Planet, Clark Kent, unaware of Jimmy's strange predicament, answers the phone as it rings.
Kent speaking.
This is Henderson, Kent.
Oh, good morning, Inspector. On the job bright and early, aren't you?
Well, early, but not too bright. Mr. Kent.
What?
It's about time you and that Olsen kid realized the police department isn't one of your playthings.
What was that?
You heard me. You've got more important things to do down here than be card and crackpot jokes.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know what you're driving at.
This is what I'm driving at. I just got a long-distance call from the chief of police at Ellenville.
So?
It's a town in Pennsylvania.
Well?
Somebody picked up a dead picture with a message on its leg.
Yes?
The message was me, from Olsen.
What did it say?
What didn't it say? Listen to this. Inspector Henderson, we are stuck up in the sky 10,000 miles above the Earth.
What?
Please go to 607 Winthrop Street and find out what happened to the radar machine. Tell Gus we must have a radar beam immediately. Signed, Jim Olsen.
I don't understand it.
You don't understand. Well, who do you think does? Now, look, Kent, when you see Olsen, tell him for me. But I don't think this sort of stuff is funny.
I don't understand it, Inspector. It doesn't sound like Jim at all.
You tell him to grow up and stop playing games, or I'll have his police card taken away. And not only that, I have a... Hold on a minute, Kent.
Okay. I don't get it. Winthrop Street. Radar. That doesn't make sense.
Hello, Kent.
Yes?
Oh, this is Mattelton, Ohio.
What?
Somebody picked up another dead picture. Sent a message for you.
For me?
Yes, the same message, word for word.
From Jim?
Yes. Now, what's this all about?
I don't know, Inspector, but I'm going to find out. Bye. Winthrop Street. Oh, for these clothes. Uh-oh, that door's unlocked. What comes in here now? I'm in a jam.
There. That does it. Oh, great Scott, here comes Lois. Up with the window. Out and away!
Leaping from the open window a split second before Lois Lane enters his office, Superman zooms over the Daily Planet and heads across the city, red cape streaming in the wind. What will he find at 607 Winthrop Street, the home of Professor Twiddle? You'll be surprised when you find out, so be sure to listen tomorrow. Same time, same station. Tune in and follow the adventures of Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publications.
Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from another planet, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, defender of law and order, champion of equal rights, valiant, courageous fighter against the forces of hate and prejudice, who is today en route to Professor Twiddle's house in response to Jimmy Olsen's urgent message. We'll learn what he discovers there in a moment. But right now, let's join our good friend, Dan McCullough.
You know, along about this time of year, we all get kind of impatient for spring, when the good old sun shines better and more often. But here's a way you can have sunny cheerfulness at breakfast any day in the year. Just eat lots of Kellogg's Pep. Yes, sir. Pep has a sunny, golden, toasted flavor and crisp freshness that makes mighty good eating. But that's not the only way Pep ties in with good golden sunshine. No, sir. There's Sunshine Vitamin D, too, that helps build strong bones and teeth. Your daily minimum need in every serving of Kellogg's Pep. And don't forget the prize in every package of this sunny breakfast cereal. Comic buttons. Real, true-to-life pictures of your favorite comic strip characters done up on gleaming, bright-colored buttons that you're mighty proud to wear pinned on your jacket or your dress or cap. It's a load of fun to collect these Pep comic buttons and swap duplicates with your pals. So hop to it, gang, get busy, and collect all 18 buttons in the series. They're so easy to get, too. You don't send in any money, not even a box stop. And you can't buy these comic buttons anywhere. All you do is to make sure that your family eats lots of Kellogg's Pep, because there's an exciting prize for you in every package of P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now, the adventures of Superman.
When Professor Twiddle's fantastic radar rocket, in which Jimmy Olsen and Poco, the little rhymester, were taking a trip to the moon, suddenly stopped high above the Earth and hung like a great silver cigar in the endless heavens, the situation looked serious. In desperation, when he learned there was only enough oxygen in the rocket to last 24 hours, Jimmy released a pair of pigeons the professor had brought along, hoping they would reach the Earth with messages addressed to Clark Kent and Inspector Henderson. And by some miracle, they did. Kent, as Superman, decided to investigate the address Jimmy had given, 607 Winthrop Street, where, meanwhile, on the third floor of Professor Twiddle's house, a tall, red-haired man wearing glasses attached to a black silk ribbon is carefully folding a number of sheets of paper covered with strange symbols and mathematical equations, while his companion, a short, stocky, bull-necked individual in a black and white checked suit, stands by nervously and finally speaks.
Hey, let me help you with them, Doc. Four hands is better than two, huh?
No, Rocky. These plans of Twiddle's radar machine are too valuable to trust your bungling fingers. Almost 24 hours to get them down on paper.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. We've been here too long. I'm getting jittery.
Yeah, don't worry, Rocky.
Don't worry, he said. Look, suppose somebody finds out we cut off the, beam?
Radar beam.
Yeah, and left this professor guy cooling his heels up in the sky someplace. What's going to happen to us then?
Yeah, nobody will find out.
Says you. Maybe the professor told somebody he was going to take a trip to the moon. So when he don't come back...
He didn't tell anyone except Gus, his assistant. You don't have to worry about him.
How do you know he didn't tell anyone?
No, use your head. If it was known he was going to try to reach the moon, there would have been 100 newspaper reporters around this house. Thousands of spectators. You haven't seen anyone, have you?
No.
Just a moment. I want to make sure that drawing is every part of this radar machine. The invention's worth millions, but...
Millions? Hey, you wouldn't kid me.
Reason it out for yourself. Ever since man discovered there were other planets, he dreamed of traveling to them. Professor Twiddle's radar rocket not only makes interplanetary travel possible, it'll revolutionize aviation as we know it.
Yeah, but why should any guy want to risk his neck going to another planet when he can stay in Brooklyn or Jersey, huh? And if he's got the dough, he can go down to Miami Beach in the winter.
Yeah, some human beings are more curious than you, Rocky. And more farsighted.
Yeah, suckers, I call them. But if they'll pay us millions, like you say, for them drawings you made, it's okay with me. Look, come on now, Doc. You got all the stuff in your briefcase. Let's blow, huh?
Yes, I think I have everything. Poor Twiddle. Suspended in interplanetary space somewhere, or burned to a crisp by the direct rays of the sun. Well, I warned him he'd be wise to do business with me.
Oh, never mind about him. Well, let's get going.
Wait, Rocky. Haven't you forgotten something?
Let me see. Got my gun in my pocket, my cap on my head.
You haven't anything in your head. What about Professor Twiddle's assistant, Gus?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot all about him.
You were going to leave him tied up in the closet, weren't you? How long do you suppose it'd be before they got loose and told the police about us?
Well, leave it to me, Doc. I'll fix him so he can't tell the cops nothing. Hey,
what's that?
Sounded like something landed on the roof. Hey, Doc, look. The roof's opening up.
Yes, it's rolling back. Rocky, who's that?
What?
A man in a blue costume and red cape.
Holy.
He's going to jump into the room. Quick, Rocky, let him have it.
Okay.
I'll take that gun.
You mean you'll take what's in it?
You're wasting your bullets on me, chum. Let's have that gun.
I got him, Rocky.
You've got me, eh?
Shoot, Rocky, shoot. I did, but the bullets bounced off him.
You're crazy. Shoot again.
Oh, still want to play, huh? I hate to be rough, but you tried to commit murder, and I'm in a hurry. So I'll just wrap your heads lightly together like this. And again. And again. That should quiet you two for a few minutes. Now to get the chap in the closet untied and find out what this is all about. All right, relax. I'll have this gag out of your mouth in a moment. There.
Oh, you got here just in time. They were going to shoot
Yes,
me.
I know. I saw them. Okay, now start talking while I get these ropes off your arms and legs. Who are you?
My name's Gus. I'm Professor Twiddle's assistant.
Oh.
Where'd you come from?
Never mind me. Who are those two men? And what's Jim Olsen got to do with all this?
The one with the red hair is Dr. Marsh. He cut off the radar beam yesterday and
Radar
stopped
beam?
the rocket.
What rocket?
Professor Twiddle's radar rocket. The professor's in it and Jim Olsen and Poco.
What?
They're stuck up in space somewhere. They must be dead by now. I told the professor not to try.
Wait a minute.
But he wouldn't listen to me.
Wait, I said wait. Are you trying to tell me that Jim Olsen and Poco are in a rocket?
Yes, Professor Twiddle's radar rocket. They were going to the moon.
The moon?
I kept telling the professor no good would come of it, but he wouldn't listen. Now look what happened. Dr. Marsh and that fellow sneaked in here yesterday, right after the professor took off. They held me up and turned off the radar beam.
So that's what Jim's note meant. The rocket suspended in space.
It was.
Don't waste time talking. I suppose that's the radar machine over there?
Yes.
Then turn on the beam again. Hurry. Here, I'll help you to your feet.
I'll turn it on, but it's no use.
How do you know? Hurry.
It's no use, I tell you.
Why?
They took off almost 24 hours ago.
So?
By now, the rocket must have been burned up by the sun. The electron streams from sunspots to the cosmic rays in space at center.
Never mind. Get that radar beam working.
That's what I'm doing, but we're too late.
Maybe not.
There's no maybe about it. Even if the rocket wasn't burned up, they're still done for. They only had oxygen for 24 hours.
What time did they leave?
10 minutes after 3 yesterday afternoon.
5 after 1 now, so they still have 2 hours to go. Well, how about that radar beam? Is it working?
No. Something's wrong with the machine.
What?
I can't get it working. Oh, if only the professor had listened to me.
All right, never mind that. We've got to get that radar beam working. Let's check the connection.
I just did, and they're okay. Something's wrong with the machine itself. Might take hours, even days, to find out what's wrong.
Great Scott, then what'll we do? Even I can't search all through space for them. What'll we do?
Helplessly, Superman and Gloomy Gus stand before the huge radar machine. And even the Man of Steel can see no way to help his friends. We'll return in a moment for the startling climax of today's episode. But first, here again is your announcer.
Most everybody finds it pretty tough sometimes to get up in the morning the first time Mother calls. But I know a young fellow who beats his mother to the kitchen nowadays because he always wants to make sure there's Kellogg's Pep for breakfast, and because he wants to be on hand every time Mom opens a new package of Pep to get a new comic button for his collection. Yes, sir, those nifty comic buttons are real eye-openers. Full comic strip colors, bright red and blue and black on a gleaming white enameled background. And the pictures of your favorite funny paper characters are drawn clear and sharp, so they stand out like anything. You'd know them anywhere. Moon Mullins and Winnie Winkle and Superman and all the others. And it'll be a great thrill the day when you have all 18 buttons in this series. You'll be mighty proud, and they're so easy to collect. Sure, you don't send in any money, and you can't buy these comic buttons anywhere. All you do is to ask Mom to keep you supplied with plenty of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. There's an exclusive prize in every package of P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's, the greatest name in cereals. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
On the top floor of Professor Twiddle's house in Metropolis, Superman and Gloomy Gus, the professor's sad-faced assistant, have just discovered that the radar machine is out of order, and they cannot direct a radar beam to their friends in the rocket suspended 10,000 miles from Earth in the great emptiness of space.
Now think, Gus. You helped Professor Twiddle build this machine.
Sure, but it's got over 8,000 parts. Might take days to find out what's wrong.
Oh.
If only the professor had listened to me. I told him not to go.
Wait. What's this?
What?
This open slot under this big steel arm. There are connections at both ends of the slot. Isn't something supposed to fit into it?
Where?
Right here.
Jerusalem. The rheostat timer's gone.
The what?
The rheostat timer. That's the secret of the whole machine, the most important part of it. No wonder it won't work.
What does it look like?
It's about 3 inches long. Just the size of that slot it fits in.
Oh.
Looks like something like a radio tube, only it's got a dial and a timing mechanism in it. Oh, where?
I see it.
Skidoo, where?
Right over here in Dr. Marsh's briefcase.
Why, the dirty crook, I'd like...
Never mind. The police will take care of him. Here, put this back in the machine where it belongs.
Maybe broken.
All right, try the machine now. Well, is it working?
Yes, but I'm sure we're too late.
Maybe not. What's this moving indicator on this screen? It's drawing a jagged line.
That shows the length of the radar beam. Those little squares it's going through mark every 2,000 miles.
Jim's message said they were 10,000 miles up.
I don't think they're there anymore.
Will you stop being a crepe hanger? Will this indicator tell us that the rocket's still there?
If the beam picks up the rocket, a little bell will ring. That'll be the echo recording.
The indicator is almost at 5,000 miles now.
The beam travels 5,000 miles a minute.
Okay, get ready. We're at 6,000 now. Oh, Jim would get himself in a mess like this. He should have known better.
Oh, should the professor? I kept telling him not to try it. I knew it wouldn't work.
Well, it might work yet. The indicator shows the beam is 8,000 miles up now. In a moment, if the rocket is still there...
It can't be.
It must be.
There isn't one chance in 100. No, sir. Not one chance in 100. Tense and anxious, Superman watches the distance indicator as it climbs slowly above the 8,000-mile mark. Will it find the tiny rocket in the vast reaches of limitless, uncharted space? Tomorrow's episode is tense and exciting, fellows and girls, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station, and follow the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DZ publications. Want to hear a scoop? A big scoop of Kellogg news? Well, listen to this. Kellogg's Variety is back. Yes, Kellogg's have scooped 6 of their most famous cereals into this grand variety carton. One carton containing 10 separate generous-sized packages. So now, it's easier for Mom. She just gets Kellogg's Variety, and everybody at the breakfast table can eat his favorite cereal fresh from its own box. Makes breakfast more fun than a picnic. Ask Mom right away to get Kellogg's Variety. It's swell, no fooling. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. Escape, brought to you by your Richfield gasoline dealer and the Richfield Oil Corporation of New York, marketers of Richfield gasolines, motor oils, and other petroleum products. Look for the Richfield Eagle on the cream and blue puffs.
Tonight, we escape to the headhunter backcountry on the island of New Guinea, and the story of 2 men trapped there with a beautiful but treacherous woman. As Jules Archer tells it in, 2 Came Back.
Suppose this big guy, 6'5", grabs your hand and says,
"You're my pal, Johnny. There's $1 million jackpot and I'm cutting you in."
And suppose this blonde number, all curves and green eyes, leans up soft and murmurs,
Johnny, you're bad. Like me. I like you bad. Like me.
And suppose this blonde number, all curves and green eyes, waits until his big back is turned and then leans up again. It can get to be a problem, you know what I mean? A problem. By the time we'd passed over the Golden Gate and were headed out over the Pacific to the west, I could see this business of Gabe and Lily and me was strictly for the squirrels, and I wanted no part of it. There was no backing out now. I'd tried that for a week before takeoff, and it hadn't worked.
Johnny, don't talk crazy. You're my friend, aren't you? Aren't you?
Sure, Gabe. Sure I'm your friend, but I don't want to go, that's all.
Oh, you gotta go, Johnny. It's $1 million strike, I tell you. Oh, and after what you've done for me, I gotta let you in. I gotta.
You really ought to come, Johnny.
Well, I don't know. But I did know. I knew that $1 million strike or no $1 million strike, this was the time for me, John Walker, to stay home. You see, it was all because this pal, this Gabe, had been my sergeant on New Guinea. We were doing guerrilla mop-up work. Rugged duty, what with the Japs scattered all over thousands of miles of interior and all. When Gabe disappeared, just plain vanished. We all figured the guy had caught one. He was dead. Lieutenant reported him missing in action. We forgot about him. Then one morning, about 3 weeks later, he shows. Not a scratch, not a word about where he's been or why or what. Well, they were all for shipping him back to Guam for a desertion trial, but Gabe, being a real rough soldier and all, being the kind of guy we needed bad right then, they decided to chuck the book for the time being and keep him on. It was, like I say, guerrilla mop-up work. And a couple of nights later, we were heading down this trail when a machine gun nest went off right in our face. We all hit the ground, excepting Gabe. He dropped to one knee and sprayed the trees with his Browning. A big guy, he stood out like a pinwheel on the 4th of July. Yep, Gabe caught one. I saw the BAR fall out of his hands, and down he went. I wriggled through the kunai grass and onto the jungle trail and got him by his collar. And... Now, why go into it? I was a hero, I guess. I saved his life. And what did it get me?
Baby.
Trouble. It was in the spring of 47 that Gabe's letters finally caught up with me. I was in New York then. He was in Frisco. At first, I thought it was, well, just the old hoorah, but I was his buddy for keeps because I'd saved his life. But one of the letters had a plane ticket and a C-note along with a line about, I'm going to let you in on something big if you'll just come out to the coast. So I thought, maybe the guy's got something. I caught the plane, and the next day I found myself walking down this empty street in Frisco with an address in my hand. And a real funny feeling in my head that I ought to turn around and go back home.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Looking for somebody?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I see I got the wrong address. Hey, that's a real slick house coat you got on it.
This? Oh, no, it's just an old thing, you know.
Well, on you, it looks like $1 million.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What address was it you were looking for?
Oh, 403.
This is 403.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does Gabor Krilovich live here?
My husband.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Gabe! For you! A man.
Yeah? What does he want?
I can't imagine.
Oh, why... Oh, Johnny! Oh, Johnny, boy. So you got here, huh?
Sure.
Oh, gee, am I glad to see you.
Gabe, you're looking good.
Hey, so are you. So are you. Look at that guy.
Is this the Johnny you've been talking so much about?
Yeah, Lily, this is Johnny. Johnny, meet Lily. Lily, Johnny. Hey, didn't know I got married, did you, guy?
No, Gabe. No, I didn't know you'd got married.
Yeah. Not a bad little dish for a big slob like me, huh?
Congratulations.
Shall we come in out of this doorway?
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, Johnny, you guy. You know, Johnny saved my life, honey. Did I tell you?
1,000,000 times.
And that's how I met Lily. Well, that night we sat up talking until the sun came up. I was wondering just what she was trying to pull. Marrying this bohunkus with his big feet and dirty undershirt and all when he hauled out the little leather bag and dumped the contents all over the table.
Hey, what do you think of this, Johnny?
Gabe, that gold?
That's just samples. Where that came from, there's enough more to make us all millionaires, Johnny.
You're kidding.
No. Hey, remember in New Guinea when I went AWOL?
Yeah.
That was just before Johnny saved my life, honey. Did I ever tell you about Johnny saving my life?
Yeah,
Gabe, about the gold, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, when I went AWOL, I thought I'd just do a little fishing or something. You know, I was kind of tired of the war. You understand?
Yeah, I understand, Gabe.
So I took off into the hills. Oh, Johnny, that is some country. Believe me, wild but pretty, real pretty. And what sunset? You never saw such...
Gabe, the gold.
Oh, yeah. Well, I seen this quartz stuff up there in the hills, and some of it was glittering. And, well, this is it. I made me a map. When I came back down, I can find it again without any trouble. That is, we can find it.
You and me?
And Lily, the three of us. Lily wouldn't want to miss all that adventure, would you, baby?
I should say not.
See? Ain't she cute? Ain't she? You know, every time I look at her, Johnny, I wonder, now why would a cute little dish like that marry a big slob like me?
Because you're so manly, sweetmeats.
Sweetmeat? Hey, did you hear that, Johnny? Ain't she the limit? Sweetmeat, me!
Well, it didn't take any great genius to figure that she'd smelled money when she married him. It also didn't take any great genius to figure that Lily was going to disrupt some harmony. Now, I've never seen myself as a wife stealer, you know. So by the time that Gabe had bought all the stuff for the trip, I was ready to duck out, money or no. But Gabe wouldn't hear of it. And, well, you know how it is when you put things off. All of a sudden, I wake up to realize that we're flying over the Golden Gate and on out west over the Pacific. And I thought, oh, this is no good. And you know something? I was right. San Francisco to Honolulu. From Honolulu to Guam. From Guam to Moresby. And all the time she's leaning up against me with perfume and all, and those big green eyes. Moresby to Salamaua. Salamaua to Wewak. And Gabe has given me the happy stuff about how glad he is his best friend and his wife like each other so much. Then down over the palm groves, the native lacatories, sago thatched huts, down, and there we were. New Guinea. Gold. Trouble.
Yeah, going up Pacific River, eh, mates?
Yeah. Oh, you better give us a couple of pounds of that powdered milk there.
Pacific River. That's a rum country, that. Another patrol officer got done in up there last week.
Done in?
Oh, hey, how about some .45 ammunition?
Oh, sure. Yes, done in. 8 hunters.
Gabe, you didn't tell me there were headhunters.
Huh? Oh, don't you worry, honey. You got me and Johnny to look out for you.
Well, it's no bloody business of mine, mate. Here. This the ammo you want?
Yeah, that's it.
No bloody business of mine, but I wouldn't take a woman up into that country.
Might make it worse.
Worse? What's worse than getting your head hung up on a pole? Gabe, I want to go home.
Oh, now don't you worry, honey.
Of course, a woman would be a prize up there, lady. I mean, they wouldn't kill her. Odds are they'd make a queen out of her. Wouldn't touch her, just worship her like.
That's good?
Well, that's up to you.
Well, I don't like it.
An hour later, packs bulging with supplies, we were off on the trail that wound up over the Purple Mountains, the Prince Alexander Range, and on toward Matheway. Gabe carried the heavy floatboat bag topped with a thick duffel of provisions. I followed, carrying 2 packs, one on top of the other. Lily brought up the rear, carrying a light pack of clothing, mostly her own. It was rough going that first day. Gabe didn't seem to mind. But me, my feet started to cave in after the first 10 miles. It was all right with me when Lily squawked.
Gabe!
What?
Let's stop.
Oh, it's only 3:30, huh?
Let's stop, Gabe.
Another couple of hours, we can be over the first mountain.
Mañana, Gabe. My back is breaking.
Okay, honey.
He lowered his big pack and then took off into the jungle.
Hey, where are you going?
We'll need some firewood.
Oh. Oh, Johnny. I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. Oh, it feels good to get those on. Oh, whoever heard of carrying 2 packs at once?
Good old Gabe.
Yeah.
Come here, Johnny.
What do you want?
I know what you think about me, Johnny. You think I'm bad. It's only because I'm bored. Unhappy and bored. I could be a one-man woman, Johnny.
Oh, I'm glad to hear about
For
it.
the right man, Johnny.
Sure.
For you, Johnny.
I think Gabe would think it's such a hot idea.
Maybe he wouldn't have to, Johnny.
Meaning?
Maybe after we get the gold, he'll fall off a cliff. Or he gets eaten up by a tiger or stepped on by an elephant.
There's no elephants in New Guinea.
Don't be dull, Johnny.
I gotta be, Lily. I gotta be. You're real poison.
Oh, Johnny.
You're real bad poison.
Mm-hmm. I'm bad. So are you, Johnny.
Yeah. You know, that looks real funny. Lipstick in a jungle.
You think so?
Mm.
Looks even funnier on you.
You're nothing to do with it, baby.
Here comes Gabe.
I forgot my gun. Always like to carry a gun in the jungle. Never know when you're going to run into a snake. Huh, Johnny?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Gabe.
Yeah. You never know.
For years, scientists have been improving your car's performance by making gasoline better and better. But there's one discovery scientists have made that's different from all the rest. It's a gasoline component called xylene. Xylene is one of the highest antinous gasoline components ever discovered. And today, every gallon of Richfield gasoline contains this supercomponent xylene. Xylene in Richfield gasoline gives higher than ever antinous performance. You get that eager pickup in traffic, that surging power that puts you out in front every time. What's more, you have a choice of 2 great Richfield gasolines with xylene. Your Richfield dealer offers Richfield High Octane at regular price for the average motor. Or Richfield Ethyl. Ethyl at its best for knockless performance in the highest compression motors. Test Richfield gasoline with xylene in your car for just 1 week. We know what your choice will be. Tomorrow, stop where you see the Richfield Eagle on the cream and blue pumps. And now we return you to Escape.
Well, there it was. The lady wanted me to kill her husband and live a life of pleasure on our ill-gotten gains. Very dramatic situation, except for a minor point. She had figured that I shouldn't kill him until after he'd found the gold mine. And another minor point being that I was his best friend. But you know how it is. Life. Best friends always kill best friends. Oh, sure. Well, while this sordid drama unreeled, we had to hike through that lousy jungle. Hike and hike and hike, and my feet were killing me. The sixth day was the worst one of the trip. We were wading through mangrove swamps thick with huge, thirsty leeches. There were giant mosquitoes that swarmed around us in clouds, and every time I slapped one, I killed 10. Oh, sure, we had mosquito lotion. They loved it.
Gabe?
What?
When are we going to get to the river? Gabe?
After a while, honey. After a while.
After a while turned out to be 9 days more. Then we reached the Sepik, a sluggish, muddy river winding like a serpent through huge, green-furred mountain ranges.
And now we ride.
We blew up the collapsible boat, loaded all of our stuff aboard, and shoved off. I took the bow, Gabe the stern, Lily sat amidships on a pile of sacks.
Easy, Gabe, will you? This baby was designed for 2 people, not 3. We're drawing a lot of water.
Don't worry, Johnny. This is flood season. And with flood season, the water's high. We can carry 3, but later it won't work. Then it'll be only 2.
Yeah, but we'll be back before then.
Sure, Johnny.
From time to time when we camped, Lily would give me the business. She didn't seem to care whether Gabe caught on or not. I cared. I cared a whole lot. And Gabe, I didn't know yet what it was that he was feeling.
You saved my life, Johnny. I owe you a lot.
Maybe that's what it was. But one afternoon we camped early and went for a swim. I was paddling around. The water felt good. Gabe and Lily got out and were drying off when all of a sudden I looked up. It was Gabe. He was standing on the bank, not 20 feet away, with his .45 pointed right at me. I dove. I dove as deep as I could. I could still hear him shoot. I stayed down until I thought my lungs were going to pop. I surfaced. Gabe was waving at me and yelling.
Come out, Johnny. Come out.
You're crazy, Gabe. Don't shoot anymore.
I'm not shooting at you. Come out.
So I came out. Then I looked around. And there, a few feet beyond where I'd been, was a tremendous crocodile with blood streaming out of him.
When you dove, I thought sure he had you.
Yeah.
Why'd you dive?
I don't know. I must have lost my head.
Gabe saved your life, Johnny.
Yeah.
I guess that evens us up, huh?
Yeah, I guess so, Gabe.
No, I don't owe you a thing.
That's right.
But you're still my pal, huh, Johnny?
Well, you figure that one. We kept on going until we came to a place where a narrow, rocky tributary came boiling down a big mountain and into the Sepik. This was where we started walking again. The goal was up that fast little creek, and we could never paddle against that current. So we folded the boat, shouldered it and the packs, and started climbing. For a day and a half, we scrambled up that mountain by the fast little stream. Then we came to a wall of gray and white rock. Gabe said, "This is where the gold is." And he was right. Holy schmagoli, that gold. Sure, we had to work to get it out of the rock. Well, in 6 days, we took out nearly $500,000 worth. We could have taken more, but the stuff was heavy, you know. No, you don't know. You've never seen that much pure gold. But just take my word for it. 6 days later, we started down the mountain. Then, when we made camp by the river that night, Lily waited until Gabe was sound asleep.
Johnny.
Yeah?
Now, Johnny.
Now what?
Now you can kill him.
Oh, go away, will you? I want my sleep.
Do it now, Johnny.
Look, baby, I don't want to kill anybody. I'm a rich man. Will you get smart?
Smart? You get smart, Johnny.
What do you mean by that?
3 ways isn't good enough on the split. I want it 2 ways.
Oh, nuts.
And if you won't kill him, I'll get him to kill you. After all, Johnny, you're the serpent in our happy marriage.
Shut up, will you? Listen.
I don't hear anything except the water.
Yeah. Well, a minute ago, you couldn't hear that for Gabe snoring. They came in the morning. While we were loading up, they came out of nowhere.
Get down!
What's that?
Elves! There it is!
But we could tell from the arrows where they were. We laid low and tried to make every shot count. It wasn't long before we saw they really meant business. They weren't going to go away.
Johnny!
Yeah!
We haven't got enough ammunition to last more than 10 minutes at this rate.
Oh, that's just great.
Can you keep them off that long?
Why? Why? What are you going to do?
I'm gonna get down to the stream and load up the boat.
You're crazy, Gabe. You can't make it down that stream.
Sure we can. It's that or end up with your head on a pole.
Okay, Gabe.
All right. Now cover me. Hear a shot, you and Lily come fast.
All right. The longest 10 minutes of my life. Lily lay there beside me. She was plenty scared, and she had every right to be. Those arrows were ugly, big and jagged and sharp.
Johnny, those arrows are getting closer.
Will you stop jiggling my arm?
I can't help it.
Look, how am I going to shoot if you jiggle my arm?
Suppose I get Gabe.
That'll be tough.
Yeah.
How come you worry about Gabe at a time like this?
Gabe, Snape, I'm worried about the gold.
Oh, you dear, sweet girl. Will you stop jiggling my arm?
So sorry.
3, 4, 5. I kept firing.
Have you any idea what you're shooting at? I mean it. You just point it at the grass and go back.
With a shot?
I should have stood in Frisco.
You should have stood in Frisco.
Oh, don't talk. Just keep shooting.
How can I keep shooting when you keep jiggling my arm? A nasty little thought crawled into my mind. Here I was up to my ankles in arrows, and there was Gabe with a boat, $500,000, and a downhill ride to freedom. Just suppose... Lily must have gotten the same idea.
I'm going to go help Gabe, Johnny. He may need help.
Stay here.
No. Goodbye, Johnny.
Why did I stay? I don't know. I lay there and kept shooting and kept thinking, oh, you sucker, they'll go off without you. But I stayed. Came 10 minutes, I heard it. Gabe signaled. The boat was already in the water, all loaded to go. Gabe faced the jungle, his automatic ready. Lily was crouching on the sand.
Good boy, Johnny. Thanks.
You all set?
Yeah. Just one thing I didn't count on.
What's that?
With all this gold in the boat, it'll only carry 2 people now.
Okay, Gabe, okay, I get it. Only one thing. Leave me your gun and ammo, will you? I want to die hard.
Wait a minute, Johnny, wait a minute. Maybe we ought to ask Lily who she thinks ought to stay. Maybe she'd rather I stay.
No, Gabe.
How about it, Lily? Who do you want to stay?
That's a tough question. I know. You both got guns. Why don't you fight a duel for it? It'll only take a second, and the winner gets me and the gold. The one who stays behind will be dead, so he won't have to be tortured by headhunters.
Oh, she's pretty cute, huh, Johnny?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Get in the boat, Johnny.
No, Gabe, look, go. You go. Look, now's your chance for a clean start.
Get in the boat, Johnny, or I'll kill you.
You sure this is how you want it, Gabe?
This is how I want it. Yeah, that's it, Johnny. Now, you all set?
Yeah, Gabe. I'm all set.
I hope you can get us down, Johnny. It's an awful fast stream.
Don't you worry about it, Lily.
Why not?
Because it works this way. If either Johnny or me stays here, he gets tortured and then gets his head cut off. If you stay here, you can be a queen. You can live. They won't even touch you. You'll rule a whole tribe all by yourself.
Gabe! What are you talking about?
Stay away from the boat, Lil.
No, Gabe, let her get in, will you? I'll get out.
Sit down, Johnny, or I'll
Come on!
Sit down, I say.
Gabe!
Johnny saved my life once. All you did was try to get him to kill me.
Anyhow, I'm the only man who can get this boat down the rapids. And for that, I need Johnny.
All right. Go. Get out, both of you. I'll be a queen. And I'll love it. And I'll be worth millions. Millions!
Yeah, I knew you'd say it, Lily. I knew you'd understand.
Here's an amazing fact for every motorist. The film of oil in your motor is often no thicker than a spider's web. But that thin film is all that saves your motor from destruction. That's why it's important for you to use the best motor oil you can get. We suggest Rich Lube, all-weather motor oil. Rich Lube is refined 100% from the finest Pennsylvania crude obtainable. Rich Lube protects your motor with a tough elastic oil film that holds its body even under the terrific heat of summer driving. At the same time, it draws excess heat away from moving engine parts. Moreover, Rich Lube, the Pennsylvania premium motor oil, contains special chemicals that clean your motor of harmful deposits as you drive. Yes, it cleans as it lubricates. So keep your motor clean. Keep your motor young. See your Richfield gasoline dealer tomorrow. Ask him to change your oil to Rich Lube all-weather motor oil. Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson, and tonight has presented Two Came Back by Jules Archer, adapted for radio by Savage Dollar. Featured in tonight's cast were Joan Banks as Lily, Stacey Harris as Johnny, Paul Freese as Gabe, and Ben Wright as the trader. Special music arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars. Next week.
You're lost in the wildest mountains of Idaho, surrounded by a raging forest fire which is swiftly bringing a horrible death closer and closer to you. A death from which there is no escape.
Next week at this time, the Richfield Oil Corporation of New York invites you to escape with an exciting story of love and murder in the wilds of Idaho, as Anthony Ellis tells it in The Red Forest. Be listening. Goodbye, then, until the same time next week when once again we offer you Escape. Tom Hanlon speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Escape, the battle of man against the elements, of man against man. 30 minutes of flight into the world of action and danger, where every minute is a call to adventure. These are the moments when a life hangs on the twist of a chance. The moments of escape.
Tonight, we escape to the wildest mountains of Idaho in the story of love and murder in the midst of a raging forest fire, as Anthony Ellis tells it in The Red Forest. It had taken me 5 years, 3 months, and 4 days. It had carried me across 21 states. And then in the Clearwater country of Idaho, I'd found it. That was in the afternoon. The trail had led from a lumber town along a washboard road and into the forest. I'm no woodsman, but in the daylight I found the place. And then I started back to the car. But something was different. Maybe the late sun, red through the trees, maybe tall shadows. There wasn't a trail anymore, only streams where there hadn't been before. Trees that were the same, but weren't. And sounds. Sounds that were fun when you were a kid on a hike, but now scared you. I used my last cigarette 3 or 4 hours before, and it was then that I started to run. Run. And the fear grows until you want to scream and want the ground to open up for you, warm and safe. But it didn't. And now, there was only the dry whirring of a rattlesnake, coiled inches away from me. No! I lived then, maybe because the snake was more afraid of something else than me. It didn't strike, just slithered away and became the pattern of the leaves. It was nearly dark when I found the road. I'd come to it about a half a mile below where I'd parked the car. A half hour later, on the outskirts of a little town, my headlights picked up a girl standing on the side of the road. She carried a cheap paper suitcase, and she was thumbing a ride. I stopped.
Can I get a ride, mister?
Why, sure. Here. I'll put your case in the back. There we go.
Gee, I'm lucky. Not many cars on the road tonight.
Uh-huh. Been walking long?
Uh-huh. I'm on my way to Missoula. My last ride dropped me a mile or so back.
Yeah?
You live around here?
No.
I don't guess you'd be going as far as Missoula.
Well, sure.
Gee, that's swell. I got a job there starting tomorrow. Kind of broke, if you know what I mean. Buses cost money.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mind if I smoke?
No, of course not. Go right ahead.
Hey, your face.
What?
You've been hurt. You're all scratched up.
Oh, well, I was hunting. I got lost just the other side of town. If you want to take a nap, it's okay. We've got about 100 miles to go.
Guess I look pooped, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I am. Say you're all right, mister. I'll take you up on it. Some guys, the minute you get in, want more than the bus fare. I can see you're not that kind.
You'll be safe. I'll wake you when we're at the city limits.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Oh. Gee, it's nice out here. Kind of lonely. Smells good. I wonder what that is. Over there.
What?
The sky. Bright light, see?
I don't know.
Gee. Could almost be Seattle. From a long way off. I had a boyfriend. He used to take me driving at night. When we came back, you could see a glow. Just like that. Oh.
I saw that glow in the sky. It was on our right. And as the road twisted through the trees, it fell behind us, then to our left, and circled until it was straight ahead. The girl had fallen asleep very quickly. I saw her face in the light from the dash. Thin, pretty, peaceful. And it was about 15 minutes after I picked her up that I saw the lights on the road. And then closer, the figures waving.
Hey, there already? I just got to sleep.
No, there's something wrong. There's a cop coming this way. What's the trouble?
Plenty. We want you, mister.
Want me?
Yeah. Forest fire. Bad one. We gotta have every man we can find. Someone else in the car with you?
Yes, a girl.
Good, she can help.
Look, I'd like to very
Here's
much.
the forest ranger. He'll explain.
Well, I'm awfully sorry, but you see, I'm on my way to Missoula.
Not tonight. I got authority to do this, mister. I'm sorry, but we need you.
Well,
You couldn't get much further anyway. The road's cut off. Mountain's going up like a torch. If it's spread, there's 3 towns going, too. Come on, I got some clothes and boots for you.
Hey, what about me? I gotta get to Missoula. I got a job in the morning.
Sorry, sister. You got a job serving coffee here.
You cops.
$5 a day.
A day?
Or longer, depends. Come on, let's go.
There was nothing else to do, so I got into the clothes the ranger gave me, then stood around and waited. I wasn't tired anymore, just scared. Scared of going into that forest again. The wind came up a bit, and with it the smell of burning, smell of death. A long way off, but closer than the glow had been, we could see flickering against the sky. And it was in a lot of places. Suddenly it was too warm and too quiet.
All right, you guys. The telephone's burnt out. I made contact with a shortwave set. Hey, you, mister.
What?
What's your name?
Pendel.
Pendel?
Yeah.
You ever use one of these?
Walkie-talkie? Sure, I was in the signal corps.
Okay, then you'll carry it. Now listen, this is bad, real bad. The fire's got behind us. We can't get any more men through for several hours. They got to come around from the other side, and that's 30 miles.
What's the use, then? Let's get out.
Hey, Crowbar.
Yeah?
I'm putting you in charge. You know what to do. Get in as close as you can to the river and set a backfire.
Sure.
I got to stick here with the transmitter. You take the walkie-talkie, and I'll let you know what's happening.
Sure, you stay here with the pretty girl. We go and get fried.
Shut up, Pat. Hey, Hanson, you'll have to go with them. 3's not enough.
Sure. Well, the cop's going to do some work for a change.
You better take along some food and a thermos. Come on, step on it.
Too bad we haven't got the crack. A couple of sandwiches I made up. Here.
Thank you.
It sure is something, isn't it?
Yeah.
You scared?
Scared? Why?
Your face is white. You scared?
I'm from the city.
I know what you mean. Those trees give me the willies, too. Dark.
Sure. That's it.
You'll be all right.
Listen, kid. If anything happens, you take my car. Here are the keys.
What do you mean?
If I don't come back, keep the car.
You kidding? You're coming back.
Yeah, sure. So long.
Hey, my name's Jan. What's yours?
Wally.
You be careful, Wally.
We went into the forest. Men with spades. Men against fire and terror. There was the man they called Fat. 300 pounds of ungainly body, topped by a tiny and almost disgustingly childlike face. There was Crowbar, a big, dark man, quiet and filled with a knowledge of the woods. Hanson, the state trooper, thin and wiry, his natty khaki shirt stained with sweat and dirt. And me. We'd gone about a mile when we first heard it. It came in gusts with the wind high above us.
Wait a minute.
Holy...
Shut up.
Let's get out of here.
About 3 miles away. I figure coming fast.
We're about that far from the river, aren't we?
Yeah.
Listen, you guys, if it's crossed the river, we're sunk. Let's get out.
Hey, Wally.
Yeah?
Get the ranger. Tell him it's coming this way pretty fast.
Right. Look, sparks up there, see?
Sure, Pat. Sparks, fire. You
Hello.
chicken?
Oh, lay off.
Hello. Pendel calling Row. Pendel calling Row. Over.
Row. This is Row. Over.
We're still about 3 miles from the river. We can hear it. Over.
You can't set a backfire now. Wind's changed. You better come back. Over.
Right. Well, he says go back.
That's okay with me, boy.
Come on.
Gee, listen to that.
I wanted to run again, that same feeling I'd known before, the fear all around us, closing in and down. There was no sky above, only blackness tinged with red, pressing. And behind, the living forest, running, overtaking, and passing us. When we reached the road again, the sound was steady. I had a strange feeling of relief when I saw the forest ranger and the girl, Jan. It was like coming home. I think it was then that I stopped being afraid.
Come on, Row. We can't do no good now.
Yeah, you're not kidding. We got to try and join up with the others.
What do you mean?
Well, the fire's on 3 sides of us. That means we head southeast.
Well, can't we take the road back?
Nope. There's 200 men trying to keep a path open for us. We got to make 5 miles in a hurry.
Bad as that.
Yeah, worse. If we don't get there in time and they can't make a fire break, we're going to be smack in the middle, and there's not going to be any way out.
Our country faces a critical problem, excessive hoarding and purchasing by thoughtless people. Panic buying is senseless buying. It helps no one and creates situations which are as dangerous as they are unnecessary. The American Grocery Manufacturers Association reports that we have a surplus of 450 million bushels of grain. Stocks of lard are 189 million pounds above what we had last year. Production of vegetable oils is above the average of the last 10 years. Quantities of fresh and canned vegetables are 10% above normal, Supplies of sugar are 950,000 tons above last year's figure. There's a surplus of eggs growing at the rate of 15 million dozen every month. The only shortages are temporary local shortages, so don't help to create them. The good citizen is the thoughtful consumer. Buy what you need, don't deny yourself the things to which you're accustomed, but don't take somebody else's share. You'll buy what you need if you need what you buy. The size of your shopping bag is the test of your allegiance to your country.
Now we return you to Escape.
We didn't carry anything but canteens. It was hot, and because it was hot, it made you thirsty even when you didn't need water. The going was rough, and we could only head in what we thought was the general direction of safety. It was at the ridge that we lost the first man.
The wind's changing again, Crowbar.
Which way?
I can't tell. It's haywire with this fire.
Do we go straight ahead?
Might as well.
Oh, wait a minute. See that ridge?
Yeah?
Now, why don't I get up there? Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, and I'll be able to get a better look. Give me the flash, and I'll signal to you.
I don't know. We haven't got much of a start. Fire's behind us and a lot faster.
Well, it's better than walking toward it. Remember, it's on 3 sides.
Okay. You make it fast, Crowbar.
Sure.
Good luck.
What do we do? Just sit and wait?
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, you're the ranger. Why don't you go? What'd you send Crowbar for?
He's fought fires before, and he knows. He's a better man to climb up there. He's faster than me.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Hey, kid. Kid, are you okay?
Sure, Wally. Just fine. Guess I'm not used to walking, though. These high heels don't help.
Yeah. Take it easy, huh?
My feet feel like they did once at a dance I went to. Some big lunk climbed all over me.
Guess you won't have a job in Missoula, huh?
If I get out of this, that's all I care about.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm scared. Give me a hand, will you?
She held onto my hand tight. It wasn't the darkness that frightened her now. There wasn't darkness anymore, but a yellowish red light that came from everywhere. It was another kind of fear. Fear of something you could see, hear, and with every minute feel more and more. Well, we waited there 10 minutes, 11, 12, and then...
You hear something?
Yeah.
Seemed to come from over there.
From the ridge, maybe?
Maybe.
Listen, you think something got Crowbar? A lion or something?
I'll go up.
No, Pendel.
What do you mean, no?
No time. We waited too long now.
But he may be hurt.
Yeah, I know that. It'll take you longer than it took Crowbar to get there. Now, come on.
You couldn't find him in the dark? Who says he's hurt anyway? We'll move on and he'll catch up.
I say we go after him.
Not me.
I'll put it to a boat, but hurry up now. Hanson.
We go on.
All right, Pat.
Let's get out of here.
And I say go on. That leaves you missing.
I'm staying with Wally.
All right. I'll go with you. We never saw Crowbar again. Maybe a lion got him. Maybe he got lost. We never saw him again. The ranger went ahead, finding trails somehow, keeping us moving. We began to climb, and after a while we were on another ridge. For the first time we could see the fire. It stretched out for miles like a huge red sea. It was all around us.
Oh, gee. Wally.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Will it hurt much?
I don't know.
Hey, take a breather. I'm going to try the walkie-talkie again.
He's not scared, is he?
I guess not.
Is that because he's a ranger? Or because he's very brave?
You're a funny girl.
No, I'm not. Hey, give me a kiss, will you?
Sure. Why did you want me to do that?
I don't know. You're a nice fella. I miss you.
Listen, Janet, I want to tell you something.
What?
If we get out, maybe...
Yeah?
Look, I'm all right. I mean, we could have fun together.
I know.
I did something wrong once. I killed a man.
Why?
He framed me. Got me put away for something I didn't do. We were driving in the east and ran over a woman. He was at the wheel, but he took a powder and left me.
You didn't do it.
That's what I say, but I'd been drinking and went to sleep. When I woke up, I was behind the wheel. He put me there. That's how the cops found me. I got 5 years.
Oh.
I was married. My wife killed herself. Ashamed, I guess. I lost my job and my friends. I swore I'd get my pal, and I did. He was a louse. He knew I was after him and ran, but I caught up with him.
I don't care.
Don't you? I don't know why I told you that. Maybe because if we do get out...
Sure. I know. It's okay.
Come on, Pindell. The ranger's moving off.
It was the state trooper, Hanson. I wondered how much he'd heard, but there wasn't any time to worry then. Rowe thought he'd seen a break in the fire, and we headed for it. When we got down in the trees again, I began to get a feeling that I'd been there before. It was nothing I could recognize, just a feeling. And then a couple of 100 yards along, I knew why.
Hey, hold up. There's a shack.
Looks like someone's living there. Better have a look.
Door's open.
Hey. It's a man.
All right, give me a hand.
Sure.
Hey, he's being shot.
Yeah. A few hours ago, from the looks of it.
You think the man who did this might have started it?
What do you mean?
The fire. It started a few miles north of here. We figured somebody got careless with a match. Maybe the killer running away.
I'd like to get the fella that did that. Maybe I will.
Yeah, me too. Well, we can't do anything here. Come on.
From there on, nobody talked. It was hard enough to lift your feet. Jan was nearly through, and I half carried her. If Rowe knew where he was leading us, he didn't say. We followed and knew that sooner or later we'd stop because we were too tired to go on. That was the first.
Listen, fellas. Wait a minute.
Oh, you gotta go on. There's still a chance.
No, the best. Just for a minute.
No. Get up.
Please, 1 minute, that's all.
Get up.
No, I can't. I can't.
Okay, you stay.
No.
But come on.
But I tell you, I can't.
I'm sorry. You catch up to us and stay on the trail.
No.
All right, come on, Jan.
We're going to leave him.
No, we have to.
No, please don't leave me. I'm coming. Fellas, please, lift the way.
Can we help him?
Oh, we're almost dead ourselves.
Fellas, please wait.
I don't know whether it was because none of us liked him or because we knew that we couldn't do anything. It's funny how you can lose a man and know he's going to die and put him right out of your mind. Perhaps we wanted to live so badly we figured the fire would take time out from us to attend to him. Hanson was next.
I'm finished.
No, you're not. There's just a bit more to go. We can still get through.
No, you go ahead. Save the girl.
I'm sorry.
Go on. Maybe I can catch up. I got a rest. You, Wally, do me a favor.
What?
I lost my gun somewhere. Know what I mean? It'll be quicker that way. You got one?
Yeah. Here.
Thanks. One bullet fired, huh? That's all I wanted to know. Okay, Pindell. I've had enough rest. I can keep up with you now. Feel a little safer with this on me. Go ahead.
So he knew. I didn't care now. I was too tired to care. If he wanted to play cop, that was his business. Sure, the man in the shack was Lenny Gillen. Sure, I'd killed him. It was my match on that last cigarette when I was lost that must have started this fire, but it wasn't important anymore. Right now, I wanted to get Jan out of it. Get myself out.
What was that?
It's behind us. It sounded like Hanson.
All right. Come on. Watch the ravine.
No, he must have fallen.
We gotta help him.
No time.
Good, you.
We didn't help Pat. Why him?
I don't know. Please.
All right, stay here.
Hanson! Hanson! Keep calling, Hanson!
This way! Over here!
Okay. My leg. Can you get up? Oh, my leg. Broken, I guess. You know about me, don't you? Yeah, I know. Girl knows, too. I heard you telling her. She won't say anything? No, I guess not. Gillen had it coming to him. I wouldn't know. I'm a cop. Yeah. It's getting hot. Put your arm over my shoulder. You can't get me up there. Well, I can try. Now, come on. Come on. Hey. No good. It can't take. I'll get the ranger and come back. No time. Go on. No, get out of here. No, I can't. Go on. I've got your gun. Nobody will ever know. You can get away with murder. Hanson, I'm sorry. Go on, get out of here. Somehow I made it up the trail again. I thought I heard a shot on. Maybe it was a burning tree going down. Jan was waiting for me, and we went on until the trees began to thin out, and we heard the shots of men. I didn't remember anything else because I passed out for a long time. When I woke up, Jan was sitting by my bed, and it was cool again.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Jan. Did they get Hanson out?
No.
Jan, listen to me. About what I told you back there. You know, the man I killed.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. I mean, it was all right about him, but not Hanson Crowbar. In fact, that was my fault, you know that.
Yeah.
Well, I want you to call a cop. Listen, kid, I've been dreaming about it. It's no good now. Be a good kid and call a cop, will you?
I don't have to. There's one outside now.
What do you mean?
When you passed out, I guess you were delirious or something. You told them.
I told them? Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, I'm glad.
You want me to hang around?
Well, that's up to you, I guess.
I guess it is. I'll hang around.
Each year, thousands of Southern Californians contribute to the pension and sick and injured funds of the Sheriff's Relief Association. You can do your share for this deserving organization by attending the Sheriff's Annual Rodeo in the Los Angeles Coliseum on August 27th. Cowboy star Roy Rogers and Trigger will head the great array of talent on this thrill-packed show. June Haber has been selected as Rodeo Queen, and Joel McRae will act as Grand Marshal. There will be exhibitions of roping and riding by champions from all over the country, and 1,000 other exciting events at the Sheriff's Annual Rodeo, the greatest spectacle of its kind in the world. It's at the Los Angeles Coliseum, 2:30 Sunday afternoon, August 27th. It's a treat the whole family will enjoy. And don't forget the date, Sunday, August 27th.
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson. And tonight has presented The Red Forest by Anthony Ellis. Featured in tonight's cast were Georgia Ellis as Jan, Bill Conrad as Wally, Paul Frees as Hanson. Ben Wright as Roe, Jay Novello as Pat, and Will Gear as Crowbar. Special music arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars. Next week.
You're in the middle of the most barren desert of Mexico, watching a wealthy Oriental voluntarily being strangled to death by the priests of his strange religion, dangerous fanatic priests, from whom there is, for you also, no escape.
Next week at this time, CBS invites you to escape with an exciting story of a man trapped by the priests of a weird cult in the desert wastes of Mexico, as Gouverneur Morris tells it in The Footprint. Be listening. Goodbye then until this same time next week, when once again we offer you Escape. For radio entertainment at its best, keep tuned to your CBS station. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Wheat Checks, Rice Checks, and Good Hot Ralston present Space Patrol! Transcribe high adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! Buzz and Happy are in the lower shaft of a secret mine on Saturn's sixth moon. As they wade through the water of the partly flooded shaft, a strange sound filters down through the mine.
Happy, listen. Sounds like a motor of some kind. The mine's automatic pump. When the water reaches a certain level, it cuts on and draws off the water. But, Commander, look at the water level against the wall of the shaft. It's rising. You're right, Happy. That pipe isn't drawing water out, it's forcing it in. Someone reversed the pump. They're trying to drown us.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol story, The Last Voyage of the Lonesome Lena. Presenting the story of a young boy who didn't like any of the cereals his mom brought home. First he'd say,
I can't eat that stuff, Mom.
Sometimes he'd say,
Oh, gee, no flavor.
And then again,
Don't like it, Mom. I just don't like it.
So she tried cereals in white packages, yellow packages, blue packages. But no luck.
No flavor.
Then one day she brought home a pair of cereals in red and white checkerboard packages.
Wowee, that's good. Oh, boy.
That's what he said when he tasted one of them.
Jumpin' Jupiter. Great day in the morning. This is it.
That's what he said when he tasted the other. The cereals?
Rice Checks and Wheat Checks, gang. Man, oh, man, they're my cereals.
Buzz Corey cereals, too. The bite-sized super cereals that help to supercharge you.
Best tasting cereals in the universe.
And the only official ready-to-eat cereals of the Space Patrol.
Fill her up, Mom. Rice Checks.
That's what our friend says now.
Fill her up, Mom. Wheat Checks.
So, gang, if you want a cereal that's right on the beam for flavor, get the cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages. Rice Checks. Wheat Checks. Saturn's number 6 moon, Titan, has become increasingly important to the commerce of the outer planets. However, rumors of illegal activity on Titan have caused Commander Corey to send Tonga, his assistant security chief, to the Saturn satellite to investigate. Now, Buzz and Happy aboard Space Patrol battlecruiser Terra 5, headed for Titan, are talking to Tonga by spaceophone, as she reports from the satellite's chief settlement, Titan Center.
So you find that the chief black market items are processed foods and medical supplies, huh?
That's right, Commander.
What about those reports we received in the uranium mine? Was there anything to the sabotage rumors?
Well, there was no actual sabotage, but about 2 weeks ago, a couple of men did try to get inside the guarded area.
Were they captured?
No, they got away. But there haven't been any recent incidents.
Have you found out who's behind this black market food situation?
No, but there's a lot of talk about a Captain Kruger.
Captain Gustav Kruger?
Yes, he's the one. He's quite a legend in this part of the solar system.
I think I've heard of him, Commander. Isn't he that old-time space pilot who has the broken-down cargo ship?
Yes, Happy. Lonesome Lena, he calls it. He's been shuttling back and forth between Saturn's moons for years. I've never heard of him being mixed up in anything dishonest. Who gave you this information?
A man named Sherwin McCurdy, for one. He's behind a lot of this new development in Titan. Kruger has given McCurdy some trouble, but I don't think McCurdy takes the old gentleman too seriously.
Have you met Kruger?
No, not yet. He just got back from Saturn. He's at Titan's Central Spaceport repairing his ship.
We'll have a talk with him when we land. Meet us at the spaceport and we'll go over together.
Yes, sir.
Corey out. Well, stand by for landing, Happy.
Standing by, sir.
Kill rockets.
Rockets out.
Hit repeller ray.
Repeller ray on, sir.
Now, let's button up the ship, and then we'll have a chat with Captain Kruger.
So that's the Lonesome Lena. Boy, that ship must be 100 years old.
Well, not quite Happy, but it has seen a lot of service.
It's so patched up. And look how it's pitted with meteor hits.
Only a real space pilot could keep it in operation.
Is that Kruger coming down the ladder?
Yes. Captain Kruger! Oh, Captain Kruger!
He looked right at us and then turned away.
Oh, I told you he was independent. Let's get over there. He's checking the hatch. Well, how's the ship, Captain?
Good for another 50 billion GUs.
With you handling it anyway. Remember me, Commander Corey?
Yeah, I recognized you.
This is my cadet, Happy.
Very glad to know you, Captain.
Have some calcium seeds, cadet?
Some what?
Calcium seeds. Great unraveled orbits, Commander. Don't tell me this new crop of space cadets doesn't know what calcium seeds are.
Never heard of them, Captain.
Your education sure has been neglected.
They grow on Venus, Happy. They used to be very popular on spaceflight.
Yeah, you never get space sickness if you chew calcium seeds. Not only that, but they keep you from blacking out at high acceleration.
Oh.
And out in space, you'd never mind the absence of gravity as long as you chew calcium seeds.
As you can see, Happy, Captain Kruger is a pilot of the old school. He's the only pilot I know who still chews raw calcium seeds.
Yeah. People nowadays won't touch them. Just because they stain your hands purple when you crack them. Well, Commander, you didn't come over here for a lecture on calcium seeds. What's on your mind?
Oh, just a few questions about business.
I see. I suppose you've heard rumors that I'm hijacking food and selling it on the black market. Is that it?
There are a lot of rumors in Titan these days, Captain.
Yeah. And a lot of upstarts. They come in here with shiny new ships and big ideas. They act like I don't belong. I'm getting shoved around, Commander. But I'm not going to take it. I never have. I'm not going to now. Well, now, if you'll excuse me, I got some repairs to make. Lonesome Lena's in pretty bad shape.
All right, Captain. Come on, Happy. Let's find Tonga.
You can tell them for me that if Sherwin McCurdy promised delivery, they'll get it. We're a little short of spaceships here on Titan right now. Hey, look, stall them off. Promise them anything. I'll call you back later. Come in.
McCurdy, I want to work with you.
Well, Captain Kruger, glad to see you.
Put your hand back in your pocket, McCurdy.
Well, what's the matter, Captain? You seem angry.
Why wouldn't I be? For 10 years, I've been setting the old Lonesome Lena down on Titan any place I wanted, or on any moon in the Saturn system. Folks were mighty glad to see me whenever I rocketed in, until your crowd got here.
My crowd, Captain?
One of your hired flunkies just told me I can't set down on the Titan Center spaceport anymore. Oh, what kind of high-handed nonsense is that?
It isn't nonsense, Captain. You can't put the Lonesome Lena down on this port. Well, that old bucket of bolts you call the Lonesome Lena's a menace. If I had my way, I'd report you to the Space Patrol. They'd melt up that old hulk.
Oh, you would. You'd melt up a ship that has helped keep people alive for the last 40 years out here on these moons.
Ship's out of date. It served its purpose. Now it's finished.
Who are you to decide whether the Lonesome Lena's finished? Well, one patch on that old battered hull is worth 10,000 of you. Melt her up, would you? I warn you, McCurdy, if you ever say that again, I'll slap you.
Take your hands off me. Take your...
All right, Captain, that's enough.
Commander Corey, this man attacked me. You got here just in time.
What's the trouble here?
I was merely pointing out that his spaceship violates Space Patrol safety regulations.
That's a bald-faced lie, McCurdy. The Lonesome Lena's safe as any ship in the space lane.
Does it have repel array equipment?
Well, no.
Does it have infrared viewscope equipment?
I don't need it. I can land it blindfolded on any spaceport in the solar system.
Does it have Class A radiation shielding on the space drive?
Her shielding's good enough. I ought to know. I built it.
I see, Commander. Obviously, he can't be permitted to land here at Titan Center. Those are regulations.
Commander, I've always respected you. Are you going to side in with this planet lubber?
I'm sorry, Captain Kruger, but I don't make the regulations. My job is to enforce them. There are thousands of people here in Titan Center. Their safety comes first.
They're safer with Lonesome Lena than with half the amateur pilots in these new ships, and you know it.
Captain, if we made an exception in your case, we'd have to do it for everyone. However, we won't be concerned if you have these safety devices installed.
But that takes money, Commander. I haven't got it. I'll never be able to get it if I can't land here to load and unload freight.
Well, perhaps you can work out some arrangements to land outside a 10-mile radius of Titan Center.
10 miles? Might as well be 10 DUs out in space.
I'm sorry, Captain Kruger. There's nothing I can do.
You win, McCurdy. Have some Callium C's. I won't be needing them anymore.
Well, Captain is very dramatic, isn't he?
I don't find it amusing, Mr. McCurdy. That old ship of his means more than his livelihood. It's his life.
Well, Commander, I wouldn't let my sympathies blind me to Captain Kruger's sharp practices.
What do you mean?
Kruger's lived by his wits. He's been a lone wolf. Now he's up against the rules of society, and instead of abiding by the rules, he takes the attitude that everyone's against him. Watch him, Commander. I confess I'm rather afraid of what he might do.
I'm here in Titan to prevent trouble, Mr. McCurdy. That's why I came to see you. I'd like to talk to you about conditions here.
Of course. Sit down.
All right, now I just want to make an appointment. I have a few matters to talk over first with my assistant security chief, Tonga, back at our temporary headquarters.
I see.
How about later today?
That'll be fine, Commander. I'll look forward to it.
So the captain is really sore, huh?
Yeah. In a way, I can't blame him.
Oh, Tonga, did you tell the commander about the uranium mine?
Uranium mine?
Yes, the big one, halfway around Titan. Someone is planning to tap the mine, dig into it from a natural cavern on the other side of the mountain so they can steal the ore, or sabotage the mine.
Who's behind this?
I don't know. But I do know that some mining equipment has been hidden in the cavern. And I know the location. They're being very careful. The crust tunnel is being worked only when the cavern is on the night side of Titan. It's daylight there now.
I think Happy and I ought to take a look at it.
Do you want me to go too, Commander?
No, you stay here in Titan Center. Call Sherwin McCurdy. Tell him I won't be able to keep that appointment. May not be back in time.
There's the mouth of the cavern, sir.
There's been plenty of activity around here, too, by the looks of the ground.
Yeah, there's a pipe leading from the cavern.
A drainage pipe. Machinery right inside the cave. Looks like a pump.
A pump?
Apparently they have to keep pumping water out of the shaft inside the cavern. Get your atomo-light, Hap. We'll have a look inside. Don't bump your head when you go through this opening, Happy.
I wonder how close we are to the regular mine.
It's hard to tell.
Hey, we're in water over our ankles. Oh, the shaft can't go much farther. We must be halfway into the mountain by now. The water's getting deeper, sir. It's nearly up to my waist.
Listen.
Sounds like a motor of some kind. Must be back outside the cavern.
The automatic pump engine. When the water reaches a certain level, it cuts on and draws off the water.
But, Commander, look at the water level against the wall of the shaft. It looks like it's rising.
You're right, Hap. That pipe isn't drawing water out, it's forcing it in. Someone reversed the pumps. They know we're down here, and they're trying to drown us.
We'll be back with Space Patrol in just a minute. They call him Whizzer, and there's not another boy in the neighborhood who can play basketball half as well. What's your secret, Whizzer?
No secret. I just get supercharged every morning.
You mean you have a good breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal?
You bet. Rice Chex, Wheat Chicks, or Instant Ralston. That's how Buzz Corey gets supercharged. That's how I get supercharged.
Say, how about those Chex? They're plenty delicious, right?
I'll say. And they're bite-sized.
And they're the only cereals in the universe that have that modern bite-sized design.
And there's only one cereal in the universe like Instant Ralston. I love it.
That's the hot super cereal. Helps you to think fast, act fast.
And play basketball fast.
You said it. Instant Ralston is a cereal for winners and whizzers. That's what you are, a winner. How about you, gang? Wouldn't you like to be whizzer? Get supercharged. Eat a good breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal. Don't wait. Get 'em today. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex, good hot Ralston. Buzz and Happy have entered a cavern on Titan, 6th moon of the planet Saturn, to investigate a hidden shaft that they believe leads to a uranium mine. After crawling through a narrow opening far under the ground, they suddenly noticed that the water in the bottom of the shaft seemed to be rising. Then they heard the sound of the pump echoing down from the cavern opening and realized that water was being deliberately pumped into the mine shaft to drown them. With the water up to their chests, they flashed their atomolites around them, searching for a way to escape.
Hey, wait, Hap. Listen. I don't hear the pump anymore. Maybe it's been shut off.
No. The water's still gushing in from that pipe. We don't hear the pump because the water's over the narrow opening.
Well, then how are we going to get through?
We'll dive under long enough to get to a place where the water doesn't fill the shaft.
All set, Happy? Yes, sir. Dive deep.
We made it.
Yeah. Hey, the water's not even up to my hips here.
We're on an upward slope of the shaft. Come on, Happy. Let's get out of this place. I'll shut it off.
Well, there's no sign of a ship around here, sir, except ours.
Whoever did this has certainly finished us off.
I'd sure like to find out who it was.
Happy. Look there on the ground. See what's scattered around the pump?
Calcium seeds.
Right.
Well, I guess we know who turned the pump on, sir.
I've known Captain Kruger a long time. I can't imagine him doing a thing like this.
Shall I pick up some of these seeds, sir, for evidence?
Yes. Then let's get back to Titan Center.
I don't understand it, Commander. I don't see how Kruger or anyone else knew that I told you about the secret mine.
He could have seen our ship headed that way and followed us in Lonesome Lena.
Well, if he did, he must be working with a gang. While you were gone, something happened here.
Oh?
Some antibiotics were stolen. Several thousand credits worth. The worst part of it is they're urgently needed at a hospital in Saturn. There's an epidemic of Zeta virus at Saturn City.
Well, can't they send medicine in from some other planet?
Well, this particular antibiotic is made here on Titan. There is some on the other planets, but there isn't enough time to get it. And if a supply of the medicine isn't taken to Saturn very soon, the doctors say a lot of cases will prove fatal.
Yeah, there must be some more of that medicine here on Titan. Maybe McCurdy can help us out.
I've already talked to McCurdy. He said he's contacted every possible source. The thieves stole every bit of it and will now hold out for a fancy price.
Well, they won't have to hold out long.
Commander, do you think Kruger's mixed up in this, too?
We're going to find out, Happy. Let's find the Lonesome Lena.
Corey!
Captain Kruger!
I won't be persecuted. Not by the Space Patrol or anybody else. I'm getting a raw deal. And if you're as fair-minded as I think you are, you'll agree with me.
Is the raw deal you're getting as bad as being nearly drowned in a flooded mine?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Show him the evidence, Happy.
Yes, sir. Recognize these, Captain?
Well, of course, they're calcium seeds.
We found them by the pump, Kruger.
Pump? What pump?
In the opening of the secret shaft near the uranium mine.
I'm not interested in any uranium mines. I want justice. Commander, look what that McCurdy has done to me now. You see this paper? It's a doctor's order telling me I can't make any more commercial space flights. McCurdy has been trying to get the official doctors on me for months. We finally succeeded. They gave me a checkup, and I'm grounded.
Let me see that.
For 6 hours, they gave me tests. Heart, blood pressure, metabolism, the works.
This is Dr. Greer's signature, all right.
Yeah. But just read what he says.
Captain Kruger's condition makes any further space flights extremely dangerous. As a space physician, I deem it inadvisable for Captain Kruger to be permitted to operate any commercial spacecraft for reasons of his own safety and the safety of others. Signed, Dr. Melvin Greer.
What am I going to do now, Commander? I'll starve to death. I'd rather go quick blasting off on a spaceship.
Just a minute, Captain. This physical examination must have taken several hours.
I just told you it did.
Then you couldn't have been at the mine.
Mine? I haven't been near any mine. I haven't been anywhere but in a doctor's office getting needles stuck in me. And that isn't all. While the doc was working on me, there was a gang of inspectors checking over Lonesome Lena.
Official Space Patrol inspectors?
Yeah. That's another thing McCurdy's been trying to arrange for months. I admit I've been dodging inspection because I knew what they'd say. Me and Lonesome Lena were both out of commission.
I'm sorry about that, Captain Kruger.
Yeah, you're sorry.
But you can be thankful for one thing. This examination clears you of suspicion. Someone has been trying very hard to implicate you in a serious crime.
Well, that's not news to me, Commander.
I have an idea who it might be.
You mean McCurdy, sir?
Now, wait a minute. I know McCurdy has it in for me, but I'd say this for him. He tried to get Dr. Greer to postpone the physical examination.
Oh, he did. After trying for months to bring it about.
Yeah, but it didn't do any good. The doc said I was too slippery an old cuss to take chances with. So I was stuck.
Happy. Tonga, we're going to find McCurdy. Captain, you stay around close in case I need you.
Don't worry, Commander. I won't be going anywhere.
There he is, sir. Heading for that atmosphere ship.
He certainly seems in a hurry.
Tonga, wait here. Come on, Happy. McCurdy, wait a minute.
He's running for the ship, sir.
McCurdy, hold it. I want to talk to you.
What is it, Commander?
I've got a few questions I'd like to ask.
Of course.
We just come from your office. From the looks of things, you left in a hurry. In fact, it looks as though you didn't intend to come back.
Should that concern the Space Patrol, Commander?
Possibly. Where were you going?
I happen to have business at Torquemine on the other side of Titan. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Not until you explain that purple stain on your hand.
What?
That purple stain on your hands, could it be from calcium seeds?
Calcium seeds? Why, what would I be doing with calcium seeds?
Scattering them around a pump, maybe?
That package you're holding, what's in it?
This has gone far enough. Stand back and get your hands up.
You ought to be quicker than that, McCurdy. Oh, let go of that ray gun. That's it. Now, don't try anything like that again.
Commander, this package he's got. Look at the label. Acro Laboratories, Titan Center. Antibiotics. This must be the medicine that was to go to Saturn.
Take it back to Tonga. We'll blast off for Saturn right away.
You won't get off Titan in your ship, Corey.
Why not?
I put your controls out of commission so you couldn't follow me. And there isn't any other ship on the satellite except my atmosphere ship. And that won't take you there.
I'm afraid he's right, Commander.
You'll have to space up onto Saturn for a ship to come and get us.
Oh, but that will take hours. The situation on Saturn is critical.
Commander!
Oh, yes, Captain?
Well, I see you got McCurdy.
Yes, and the medicine.
Yeah, but McCurdy's wrecked our ship. There's no way to get off of Titan.
Well, how about the Lonesome Lena?
But Lena's grounded.
Just a lot of official space jabber. She'll still fly. And by Jupiter, I'm taking you all to Saturn.
You'd better let me take your ship, Captain, after what the doctor said.
Commander, I know you're the best pilot in the solar system, but Lena's sort of, temperamental. She's got a lot of quirks and things. If she isn't handled just right, she just might go all to pieces.
Are you sure you're willing to risk a blast-off in Lena after what the doctor said?
Commander, I'm safer in Lonesome Lena than anywhere in the universe.
Then let's go. Come on, McCurdy. We're taking you with us.
Not in that pile of junk. It isn't safe.
Get going.
The ship's condemned. You have no right to endanger my life.
Why, you low-frequency crook. As though your life was worth a calcium seed.
Let's go. Bring the medicine, Happy.
All right, everybody. Sit tight. We're going to blast off.
Look at those controls. Why, they're just patched together.
Keep quiet, McCurdy. All right, Captain, when you're ready.
Wait just a minute. I got a few more adjustments to make here. Like I said, Lena's temperamental. You sort of got a sense what to do.
I admit I've never seen a control set up like this.
Are you ready, everybody?
Yes.
All set. Let her go.
And here we go. Commander. We're spaceborne.
An excellent blast-off, Captain.
Yeah, just like I said.
Captain, what's wrong?
My heart.
I'm going to get the first aid kit, if there is one.
He's passed out. Now what are we going to do?
Happy.
Yes, Commander?
Help me lift the captain out of the pilot seat.
Yes, sir.
There.
Happy, you and Tonga see what you can do to make him comfortable. I'll take the Lonesome Lena into Saturn. How you doing, Commander? All right so far, Happy. We're 2 minutes out of Saturn City Spaceport. How's the captain? He seems to be coming out of it, sir. Tonga's trying to make him lie down back aft. He had me worried for a while. I hope he can take the landing. It'll be just as bad as the blast-off with this antiquated equipment. Have you space-phoned the hospital, sir? Yes. The chief physician says that if you get the medicine there in half an hour, we'll be in time. Oh, we can do that easy. Yes, I can land this Hulk without crashing. Stand by for landing.
Commander!
Captain Kruger! I just couldn't make him stay in the bunk, Commander.
Oh, I'm sorry I conked out on you, but I see you got everything under control. You think you can handle the landing, Commander, or do you want me to... I'd better take her in, Captain, in case you... Oh, sure. But if I just might make a suggestion... But that's it! Thunder and Comets, Commander, you sure know how to handle Lonesome Lena.
Here we go. Brace yourselves.
That's it. You've got it.
We made it. Captain, are you all right?
Oh, just fine. That was a great landing, Commander. I couldn't have done better myself.
Say, you took that pretty well.
Oh, I found some thallium seeds back aft. Nothing like 'em for space flying. You have some, Cadet?
This time you've got a customer, Captain. I don't feel so well. This is Commander Corey.
And Marvin Miller.
Reminding you that pulling up to your breakfast table
is like pulling up to a filling station.
Give him our example, Marvin.
A jet cycle has just pulled into a filling station to get its tank filled.
The man has it filled with ordinary fuel. Listen. Not much go in that jet cycle, is there?
Now listen to the same jet cycle filled with super fuel. That cycle's flying like a rocket now because it's supercharged with super fuel.
Same thing is true for you, gang. To get going in the morning, you need super fuel, too.
So get supercharged the way space patrollers do.
Eat a good breakfast with Instant Ralston, the hot super cereal.
Instant Ralston helps you to think fast.
And act fast.
So remember, when you pull up to your breakfast table, it's just like pulling up to a filling station. You're there for fuel.
Super fuel. So you can get supercharged. Take a tip. Eat a good breakfast with Instant Ralston and get supercharged. Get it today in the red and white checkerboard package. Good hot Ralston.
And now for a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story. Buzz and Happy have gone to the offices of John Crozer to rescue a noted scientist abducted by Crozer.
I know Professor Hegman is somewhere in this building, Crozer. Take us to him.
Why, Commander, you're mistaken.
Oh, no, we're not. Don't sit there under that sun lamp. Take me to Hegman.
Well, all right, Corey. If you insist.
Hey, my eyes! Turn that lamp off! Get him, Happy! I can't see!
Here's yours, Cadet. Now, Corey, I'm going to finish you off permanently.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Brain Bank and the Space Binoculars, when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston again bring you Space Patrol!
And now, gang, here's a word from Cadet Happy.
Boys and girls, this is Cadet Happy. Do you know how life-giving oxygen is carried to the cells of the body? By the bloodstream. So when a person loses a great deal of blood in an accident or in sickness, there's not enough blood left to do that job. Result? The person dies. So will you help me save lives by joining the Space Patrol Blood Boosters? It's fun. It's patriotic. So join the Space Patrol Blood Boosters today.
Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Marvin Miller, Nina Vara, and Norman Jolly. Don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston again present the new exciting Space Patrol! Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local newspaper for time and channel. Space Patrol comes to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.